Hello, hello. Am I audible? जरा कौन? Hello, am I audible? Good morning, everyone. We will begin the program shortly. Just waiting for few of the delegates to join. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Few minutes, sir. Within 5 minutes, we will start.
Okay, okay, not at all issue.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
No. Tadi na po ito.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so let us begin the program. A very good morning to all dignitaries. Principal convener of today's event, Dr. Ketan Shah, Program Coordinator, Dr. Dikshit Modi, and Co-Coordinator, Dr. Biren Shah, and my dear colleagues and delegates. Myself, Mrs. Sonal Solanki, on behalf of Shri Naranji Bhai Lalbhai Patel College of Pharmacy, I warmly welcome you all for the second day of the GST and DST sponsored 2 days webinar on regulatory guidelines for herbals and nutraceuticals, current and future. Now, let me give a brief idea about today's schedule. Today, 10 to 11, we have a plenary section by Dr. Himanshu Makwana, R&D Manager, Phyto Life Sciences Private Limited. He will throw a light on current trends and approach for QC of herbal medicines. This session will be chaired by Dr. Dikshit Modi. Then 11 to 12, we have a plenary session by Dr. Sanjeev Acharya, Principal, SSR College of Pharmacy, Silvassa. He will emphasize on the regulatory guidelines for herbals and nutraceuticals outside India. This session will be chaired by myself. Then 12 to 1, we will have a plenary session by Dr. Puneet Raj, General Manager, V Worldwide Group. He will speak about the guidelines for import and export of herbals and nutraceuticals. This session will be chaired by Dr. Jasmeena Surti. Then after 1 to 2 will be lunch break. 2 to 2:30 will be the valedictory function. Now I request Dikshit sir to please take over the program ahead.
Good morning to all. I think am I audible? Hello. Hello. Good morning to all. Myself, Dr. Dikshit Modi, Associate Professor from Sri Naranji Bhai Lalbhai Patel College of Pharmacy. As a coordinator of this event, I heartily welcome to all in second day of this webinar. It is great pleasure for me to chair the session for today's first speaker, Dr. Himanshu Makwana. And I am very thankful to Dr. Himanshu Makwana because sir has accepted my invitation by single WhatsApp message and he is ready to chair the session. So thank you very much, sir. Dr. Himanshu Makwana, sir is M.Com PhD and presently working as a R&D manager at Phyto Life Science Private Limited, Ahmedabad. Sir has completed his B.Pharm from Faculty of Pharmacy, Dharamsir Desai University, Nadia in 2011. Sir has completed his M.Pharm from Manipal College of Pharmaceutical Science, Karnataka in 2013. Sir has completed his PhD from School of Pharmacy, RK University, Rajkot in 2021. Sir has more than 9 years of experience in the industry and sir has published more than 5 publications in national and international journals. Sir have presented oral presentation more than 10. Sir have presented various poster presentation in national and international conferences as well as in a seminar. Uh, Sir is a member in different types of bodies. Like sir is approved as a technical person by FDCA Gujarat State. Sir is a member of International Association for the Advancement of High Performance Thin Layer Chromatography. Uh, Sir has secured some achievements, like Sir has secured second prize for oral presentation in National Convention and International Conference of Society of Pharmacology. organized by Graduate School of Pharmacy, GT Ahmedabad in 2021. Sir won the third gold medals and five silver medals in Agros Health at Manipal University in 2012 and 13. So there is a dynamic personality as a Dr. Himanshu Makwana present over here. So welcome, sir, and I hand over the session to the sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for my brief introduction. And apart from this, my academic curriculum, I would like to just add, I am wildlife photographer. Apart from this, my PhD, my academic work and all. So we start, first of all, good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Yes. Now I'm going to start share my screen and I will start my presentation. Okay. Just wait. I think I need to present a window. Okay. Okay, my screen is visible for all of you. Is it visible, sir?
No, no, sir. It is not visible.
Just wait, sir. Just wait.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. I think with the screen that to share. Okay. Okay, now my screen I think visible.
Yes, sir, visible, but not a full screen. Okay, okay, sir, visible. Is it okay?
Visible is the full screen, no, sir?
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay,
Fine.
okay. Then first of all, welcome to all of you, and madam and all. So today we are here for this my session, like with entitled with the current trend and approaches for the quality control of herbal medicine. So in just I am searching for this some topics regarding the quality control of herbal drug, and I come across with this image, and I have found that this is the very good enough which give you the brief introduction about the current scenario of herbal product. Like we can say that plant-based future. It means most of the herbal drug derived from the plant. Okay, and nowadays people are just demanding that herbal product because of their either it's in terms of this precautions basis or in prevention basis, but still we don't have that particular quality control parameter in our hand to develop a quality product or the product which is very good in terms of bioavailability and in clinically proven test. So right now we are here in a plant-based future, or in botanical boom. Means we need to develop a good product in terms of the industrial, we can say that this is the improvement in your technology, improvement in instrumentations and all. So as after this COVID scenario, we all come to know that how herbal is important. Means in terms of the immunity, specifically in immunity, we can say that we have used many ukaras and many herbal extracts and many products during this almost 2 to 3 years. So not it related to particular country, but in globally, the herbal medicine has been considered as an important alternative to the modern allopathic medicines. It means nowadays just this trend is shifting from these allopathic medicines to the herbal medicines, either in terms of the phytopharmaceutical or either in terms of these herbal medicines. Although the herbal medicines are very popular in the society also. So as you know, in the traditional, as I'm talking about the Ayurveda, we used to prepare some tinctures and some decoctions and some herbal medicines. But that time the people know, like from experience only they know, like this particular plant is used in this particular disease. Still now, some in tribal areas also, they don't have any guidelines, they don't have any documentation, any clinical data about this particular medicine, but still they people are using herbal medicines, and they are also they have the very good benefit from it. So in this way, we can say that a few medicinal herbs have been scientifically scientifically evaluated for their potential in the medical treatment. So in current trend, right now, see, initially we are using only water extract and hydroalcoholic extract, but now we need to like derive some bioactive phytochemicals through chain of different techniques like isolation, extraction, purification, and characterization of active constituent from the natural origins. So in this diagram, I would like to just give you the brief introduction of my work from this traditional herbal formulation to phytopharmaceutical, or we can say this nutraceutical. Nutraceuticals, it means let the food be your medicine and let the medicine be your food. Then initially the decoction, they are generally use the water-based preparations. But next stage of that particular herbal extract to the dry extract. It means the concentrated form of herbal medicines. In next mode of standardized extract. Standardized extract means you have that particular high concentration of any ingredient in your extract. If you are claiming, for example, if you are claiming amla extract with 5% gallic acid by HPLC, then you can say that your extract is standardized as per this Indian or this API. Okay. Next, move on to the phytopharmaceuticals. So, as per the current guideline and current recent norms governed by the government, Ayush and CDSCO and all these regulatory organizations, they given one guideline that at least you need to standardize your extract with minimum 4 biomarkers compound. See, generally routine, quercetin, these are all common compounds, flavonoids and all these are present in all most of all the plants. But you need to find out a particular biomarkers, means that particular compound is mainly responsible for this clinical activity, proven clinical activity of that particular extracts. So in this way, we are just moving from this traditional practice to the phytopharmaceuticals. So now here my topic actually start like quality control of herbal drug. Now what is quality control? Quality control not is a single term. It is consecutive steps. It means the consecutive process or the many steps involved during the from this selection of the raw material to the production of that particular product. So in between that particular area, you need to define one criteria. You need to go for this documentation, regulatory experts, some pharmacopoeial guideline that will give you an issue that your product is up to this level, and you may go for this further clinical activity, and it will give you the best medicinal value of that particular plant. So in general, these quality parameters are mainly depends on 3 characters, like identity of that particular plant, then what is purity, and lastly the assay or this content. What is the bioactive marker compounds available in which proportion in this extract or which concentration, that is known as assay of that particular plant. Next, quality control of herbal product means initially you need to start with the literature survey. This is the very important part. See, right now in industry, what we people are doing is simply we are collecting one plant in simply after just going with this review of literature, means I will search that which kind of phytochemicals are present in this plant and what work already have been done on this plant, and we'll go with the different libraries and different search engines and everything. And if we found that yes, this plant is medicinally important, means if we go with the TLC and HPLC, you at least you come to know about the from the phytochemical screening also that yes, this plant contains this class of phytocompounds. And if this class of phytocompounds are generally targeted, means if you want anti-cancer compounds, then you need to go with the polyphenolic compound like flavonoids compound. And this is, you need to follow the entire sequence from the literature survey, then collection of the plant material, then development of extraction procedure, then you need to use particular solvent for that extraction to get your maximum your viable compounds. And at the end, you need to go with the formulations. In formulations in Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, there is already mentioned the formulation process. Okay, which is, but this is related to the traditional herbs like ashwagandha, bacopa, centella, and this all. But in current demand, see, in many extracts like silymarin, milk thistle, ginkgo biloba, ginseng, then we can say sea buckthorn, then spirulina. They are very good, well-known herbs, which is currently covering the market of herbal products. Next, I am just going brief about this characterization and standardization of herbal medicines, like which is the parameters that are generally covered in this quality control of the herbal product. So initially, general data means geographical harvesting time and harvesting process, and processing means which time you will collect that particular plant. The particular time is also depends upon the quality of your herbs. The specific time mentioned in that, like in some time in some plant, you need to collect during the morning season, during the evening. So there are many research papers is also available regarding this particular compound is high during that particular time and all. These are general data available for this quality control plant. Next, identity, it means you need to, after collecting the plant, you need to go with the macroscopic assay, then chemical fingerprinting, it means phytochemical analysis, and then TLC fingerprinting. Then what is the purity? So to define purity, you need to define the foreign organic matter. Means the matter which is not as a part of the plant, but sometimes it will decrease this the purity of your compound or your interested molecule. So you need to find out this one also. Then you need to go with the extractive value, like water extractive value, water hydroalcoholic extractive value, then alcoholic extractive value and all. And at the end, after this preparing the extract, you need to go with this assay. Means your plant contain what kind of phytochemicals. Sometimes in herbal industry, we are using like bitters, saponin, glycoside, alkaloids, and all that particular compounds. And to assess the quality and quantity of that particular compound, we are going with the HPLC, GC, LCMS, HPTLC. For characterization of particular compound, we'll go with the NMR, IR, and other sophisticated techniques. And at the end, contaminants means this is like some bacterial growth may occur during this storage of that microbial, storage of the raw material, storage of these extracts as well. To avoid this all thing, if you maintain this all parameter properly with proper documented and proper guideline, then definitely you have the very good herbal product. So see, this is the then and now. Recently, what we are doing for this LOD means to get the moisture content. We are keeping our extract in the petri plate and we are keeping in this oven for almost 3 to 5 hours. And we will get this consecutive 2 weight, which is constant. Then we can say that, okay, almost all the moisture is lost in the sample and you will calculate your moisture, means your plant on dry basis. But nowadays in industry, the IR balance is also available. It's known as Shimazu infrared moisture balance. It will take only 5 minutes. See, only 5 minutes, from 3 to 4 hours to only 5 minutes, you will get the extract with directly proportion, like 3% moisture. No need to go with the empty weight, final weight, sample weight, nothing. Simply you put your extract in your petri plate and you will have your answer. So this way, industry is working in a particular field of herbal development. So in presently global market, herbal global market, see, in everywhere you will find traditional Chinese medicines. When you are going with the international conferences or international symposium, and everywhere you will get some papers and some person who is representing, like China. There are 50% of this herbal market is occupied by the China, and whereas in India only 2.5%. Even though if you purchase extract from the China, frankly speaking, you will get all the documents in Chinese language. It means they have their own pharmacopoeia, like Chinese herbal pharmacopoeia, and definitely they are completely believing in their traditional system. But we are just lacking of this particular part just because of lacking of scientific evaluation. See, neem is an Indian herbal plant, but we don't have the patent of neem. Why? Because we know what is the benefit of the neem, how neem is helpful. Nowadays in market, we know what like many face washes are available which contain the neem nanoparticles, like tablet and all. But still we are lacking of this particular data, and that's why we don't have authenticate regulatory requirement for the quality herbal drugs. But as recently I have seen in that IP for recent volume, they have mentioned instead of herbal monograph, they have mentioned phytopharmaceutical drug. It means all these herbal drugs are mentioned with the 4 to 5 biomarker compounds. And see, in market you will find lots of tulsi formulation. Particularly in this COVID phase, everyone used to prepare like galovati and this tulsi and other formulations for this nasal drop and all. So in from this much formula, more than 350 formulation available in market right now that contain the tulsi. Some people are knowing like Pancha Tulsi, like Ocimum basilicum, Ocimum senectum, Ocimum tenaiflorum, Ocimum citrodorum. So there are mainly 5 species used for this particular formulation. But which is good enough and which is give you the best result, that we don't know, because there is no any clinical data and like approved quality control documents with related to that particular formulations. So to avoid this one, we need to go with some major documentation part. So here I would like to just highlight some key problems related to this quality control products. So first of all, what is the quality issue? as we know that adulteration and some substitution. So same thing happen during this particular part, that if the raw material is not available, then people are using some different raw material. And although that is intensely or unintentionally, some people don't know the exact species, so that's why they are substituting their exact species with the other species, and because of that particular substitution, you won't get any clinically uh, result with that. Then quality control related issue means no very good control over the procedure and lack of good manufacturing practice data about that. Then administrative issue, then lack of regulatory aspect, like lack of guideline, lack of particular monograph details and everything. Then no clinical data is also available uh, for this particular plant. Same thing see happens right now. Lavender oil is a very good formulations and very good oil available in market, specifically used for skin as well as hair. So there are 4 to 5 kind of lavenders available globally, but which one is good, we don't know. Chemical constituents of a herb and herbal product may vary depend on this stage of collection and the part of the plant collected, harvested season, plant origin, and drying process and other factors. And you will get different kind of phytopharmaceutical profile of all these lavender extracts. When you run with the GC, at that time you have the different peak, even different concentration of that particular compounds. So these are the main issue related with the quality control of herbal drug. And now, what is the primary requirement of herbal drug? Initially, what we are using only herbal product. Okay, only we are collecting the plant and we are drying and we are going for the extraction. But nowadays, if you collect the plant, then you need to go or you need to give some introduction or details about the geographical tagging system. Means from the which area you have collected this plant, during which time you have collected this plant. So nowadays, this is some improvement. During this particular phase, even if you're going with the publication, your research work and everywhere, you need to give the geotagging data. So this is good enough for this quality control of herbal product. So primary requirement for the quality control is modern literature. You need to go with the literature survey. Then you go with either some people have very good experience in herbal botanist or herbal taxonomy. So you need to use that particular experience, like this plant is used in particular disease. Then as a phytopharmacy people or as a pharmacognosy people, we need to work on that particular plant as per this information given by the tribal people. Then you go with the bioassay. Bioassay means you need to identify the bioactive marker compound which is present in that particular plant. Like bioactivity guided isolation fractionation is a very good term. Then you need to go with this also the availability of the raw material. See, if you are selecting like now the example of Sankpushpi. Sankpushpi is very good herbs and mainly used in many like alkaloids is used in many formulation preparation. But the lack of raw material, you won't get the authentic Sankpushpi raw material. So what is used if you also develop or isolate a particular marker compound, or you will develop particular formulation from the Sankpushpi. But when you go with the commercialization or the industrial development of the product, that time you don't have the raw material. So availability of raw material is the one of the primary things when you are considering this quality control of herbal product. And which plant of which part of the plant that you are using for your purpose. See, Asoka is a very good tree, which is mentioned in this Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia also. But when you are using the bark, but nowadays government have banned the use of bark in that formulation part or in that development of herbal product. So this all parameter we need to consider before this development of herbal formulation as well as the quality control of herbal products. So recent approaches. So approaches start from this 1998. WHO has given particular literature about this basic microscopy, macroscopy, and the botanical identification of the herbal product. Then in 2002, in IP 2002 and British Pharmacopoeia 1996, they have given the TLC and HPTLC profiling. So this is little bit one step ahead of this basic identification. If you have the photograph of the plant and if you have the photograph of the TLC and PTLC profiling, then they will definitely help you in terms of the quality control. Because if you have the only one marker compound and if you run with this TLC part, then you come to know about this. Okay, this particular compound is present in our sample, raw material, and extracts. So it will good for you to just identify that okay, your extract is good enough and as per the label claim or as per this mentioned documentation part. Next stage of that HPLC and HPLC now secondary metabolite. Now people are targeting this particular compounds For example, see, right now in Murray extract you will find 95% piperine. In curcumin you will find 95% curcumin. In like green tea you will find 99, 90, 50 and 90% of epigallocatechin gallate, ECGC. So this is the enrichment of that particular phyto compound in your extract. So this is the recent trend. And after that particular one, again, specific biomarker means you need to highlight the specific biomarker which is present in your extract, and you need to prepare the documentation like certificate of analysis, material safety data sheet, technical data sheet, and BMR and everything according to the guideline. And then you have this particular assessment of particular biomarker. And current approach means latest. This is not right now used in industry, but in most of the research paper and recently and herbal research people are using DNA markers. Means for this particular species, you will have that chain of that nucleotide and all. So you have that DNA tagging, and this will help you to identify this particular species or particular plant with reference DNA markers compound. Okay. So this is the herbal monograph. See, why we can say that Indian pharmacopoeia and any document book is very good for herbal quality control product, because in that particular book they have given entire monograph. So initially in 1995 to 1996, they have included only 44 herbal monograph. This is vegetable drug and standards. But after 2007, they have first chapter of this herbal and herbal product incorporated. Separately, they have incorporated one chapter known as herbal and herbal products. And they have increased the particular monograph from 44 to 66. In 2014, total is 150 monograph. In that 2014, they have extruded dry extract. Total 93 dry extract they have added in this particular volume 2040, and 2018 and 2020 from the herbal and herbal product to phytopharmaceutical. It means entire data is given in terms of the bioavailable markers. So day by day, it's become very difficult for small herbal industries to survive in this competitive field, because isolation of particular marker compound is not at all easy. You need to isolate particular marker compound, and you need to go with this characterization part. And after characterization, you need to find the percentage of that particular biomarker in your incrusted extracts or your formulation. So this is much difficult for the small industries. But in terms of quality control, you must have to follow this particular guideline if you want to sell your extract throughout the India, or you need to export your extract to the foreign markets. So this is the individual. I have prepared the difference between the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia and Indian pharmacopoeia. See, in Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, they have mentioned like common name. Okay, in Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, they have synonyms. It means vernacular names. See, one plant in different language, you have the different names. So again, that will create the controversy. And controversy is one of the very complicated thing in terms of this quality control. If you don't have this proper scientific identification of the plant, you won't have this result, or you won't have the proper bioavailable extracts. And also the TLC is also given in the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia. But in Indian pharmacopoeia, you will have the HPLC data and HPLC data. Entire details is given in API. But the positive of the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia is they have given therapeutic uses in dose also, that how to prepare the particular normal formulation of that herbs and all. So this is the journey from the herbal medicines to nutraceuticals. A large proportion of the pharmaceutical drug used today are derived from the plant source, as we all know that. And from the plant source, now we are incorporating that plant source with the allopathic medicines or some other drug, and we comes as the nutraceuticals. So this is very good development in herbal field. We can say that to achieve particular quality, how you will define that right now you are moving in a good direction, or you are moving in the correct direction in terms of the quality control of herbal product. So first of all, you need to go with the practice. Means you need to develop your profile or the work accordingly for this isolation and characterization of the part. Then follow the professional guideline. As I have already discussed, like API, USP, you need to follow particular guideline. See, if you want to sell your extract in the US market, then you must have to follow the US guideline that have mentioned not extract, but US people, they mentioned like dietary supplements, because they are never considering the herbal medicine, Indian herbal medicine as a medicine. So to gain that particular importance, we need to work hard in terms of the quality control. If we have the very good documented product, or we have very good regulatory aspect of that particular herb, but then definitely we have very good market globally for this herbal product. Then preparation of the document. Here in industry, what we had initially, we have this extract, then we'll go for this solubility test, pH value, and microbial analysis. Then there's HPS and HPTS and all this work. Then at the end, we will prepare one document, and we will send this document to client, and we are just giving, representing our work in terms of quality, like we are giving this kind of particular phytomarkers compound in particular extract. If you are developing any formulas related to that particular extract, kindly go with our documentation and find the importance of that particular compounds in terms of your perspectives. And next, move to corrective measure. Means regularly, routinely, you need to maintain the quality, you need to go with this particular parameters. Regularly, you need to visit entire your work, like either is going in good flow or what. In between, during production, if you are getting any problem, that time you need to wash your sometime, maybe because of the herbal extract very sticky, particularly in this rainy season, the herbal extract get the moisture all the time. So for that, you need to keep like dehumidifier and some particular terms in the production area that will avoid the microbial contamination of the herbal product. So this is the corrective measures. And then regular monitoring means after like weekly or monthly, you need to go with the entire documentation part. Like for example, if you are using HPLC for quality control, then you need to go with the calibration like monthly, quarterly, and you need to mention entire the calibration parameter. And in between the calibration, if you are facing some issue, then you need to highlight that particular issue, and you need to work on that particular issue and rectify the issue, and use this your instrument after this calibration is passed. So these are the quality control parameters. If you want to prepare the very good quality product, then you need to follow this all the steps. Then and then only you have the very good herbal product in the market. For example, see ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is also known as super herbs because right now it is used as a reduce the anxiety, stress, inflammation, and also used decrease the blood sugar level and improve the sleep. But ashwagandha is powerful predictor herb. Right now in market, you will find 2.5% and 10% of vidonolide by HPLC. It means you can say that this extract is a phytopharmaceutical in terms of the bioactive marker. But in ashwagandha, some people found that vidaferin A, which is alkaloid vidaferin A, which is toxic in nature. And recently, I have done this HPLC of that leaf part as well as root part. Then I have clearly got the result that root contain the higher amount of vidanolites, whereas lesser amount of vidaferin A. That's why in Ayurveda they have mentioned root is mainly used, but lack of the availability of raw material, some people use the leaf also. Whenever you are purchasing the powder from the market, you want differentiating the whether it's root or leaf. So I personally recommend all the students and all my colleagues that never go for the powder material of the herbs, because regularly we are testing more than every day, not per month or per year. Every day we are testing more than 20 raw materials, and we have found that the raw material that we are receiving in a powder form is almost adulterated. So better you will go with this entire raw herbs. So here is the difference in this monograph. See, in IP also you will find the monograph of the raw material separately and dry extract separately. This is the particular document. You will take the reference of that particular document and you will analyze your product. See, here you will find the total ash and acid insoluble. The limit is given. Means if your herbs is up to the mark or is good enough to qualify all the parameters, then it must complies with all these parameters which is given, all these specifications also. So when you move from the herbs to extract, the degree of complexity decrease. See, in whole plant you are using leaf, root, stem, flower, and everything. That time it's very difficult because one part contain more than 1,000 chemicals. Then isolate particular one chemical from this particular part is very difficult. But when you move from the whole plant to particular part of the plant, then you prepare the extract from it, and at the end you have the particular extract. But after the extraction, nowadays, as I have discussed, people are going with the single compound, biomarker compound, and you need to analyze that particular compound in your formulation or in your extract. So that will increase the purification. The degree of purification increase, whereas degree of complexity decrease. So selection and characterization of the botanical natural product for scientific studies. So after you do the literature survey and already available requirement, already available document from this plant, you need to go with the authentication and check for. After you find that your plant is authenticated, means there is no any adulteration. The plant which is already you want this particular species and you have the same species, then you go for this adulteration and all that particular parameter, and you need to isolate the particular compound. So this is the scenario in herbal market specifically. To targeted molecules, I mean you need to directly formulate or you need to directly go to the targeted molecules for development of herbal product. Here is a standard extraction and fractionation scheme for this natural product. So how simple way, how you will get this particular bioactive marker? So simply right now column chromatography is very good technique mainly used in this isolation part, but it will take more than 1 or 2 days to isolate one particular compound. Even the final quantity of that biomarker compound is very less. So first of all, simply you prepare the enriched extracts. Instead of particular biomarker compound, you prepare enriched extract. It means 30% gallic acid, like 40% tannins, 50% proanthocyanidin, like that. So to achieve that extraction, you need to go with the simple extraction, then liquid-liquid partitioning with the C. As per the polarity is concerned, the water is a polar component. You need to go with the non-polar solvent washing. So if your initial methanolic fractions contain almost 1,000 compounds. But when you dissolve your methanolic extract in water, that time you have this hazy phase. And next move on to the liquid partition, means you give the washing of the n-hexane. It means all the non-polar compound in your n-hexane phase, all the volatile compound in your n-hexane phase. Then you go with the chloroform, then successively you go with the ethyl acetate, then you go with the methanol. So this way you need to fractionate your particular compound in a different phase. After you go with the in vitro, in vivo assay, in this particular fractions you will get the very good assay result. Then you need to select that particular fractions for the isolation part. For identification, even though in HPTLC nowadays TLC-MS is also available, so no need to isolate. If you just want to identify your compound, then you need to just go with the single band and you will have this particular mass spectra of your compound. What is the marker compound is the reference standards. Okay, why you need to select particular marker compound? What is the criteria for the marker compound that to be used in this particular quality control of herbal product? So first of all, markers and chromatographic profiling made for each other. Means if you have the very good marker, then you have the very good profiling of HPTLC work, and that particular profile will serve as a reference profile for the development of further products. It should be preferably bioactive, because already that guideline is given for that particular biomarker. Now see the voucher specimens. Herbarium or a repository is considered a good standard. If you have the very good herbarium of that botanical standard, means simply before starting any industrial step or any production parameters, simply you see the herbarium and you will find that yes, your product is, which is already details given in the herbarium, your product is same as that. Then you can simply assure that your product is good and you need to start the work with that. So as per the industry demands, I would like to introduce some extracts which we are using in this our herbal formulations. Lycopene extract, which is lycopene is available in tomatoes. So 10% lycopene extract, which is mainly used in health and memory support. But most of the products are generally used for the skin products also. In market, there are 5%, 20%, and soft 20%. Soft means the paste form. Lycopene extract is available. Next, grape seed extract. See, grape and seed. It means from the fruit you need to remove the seed and you need to prepare the extract. And if you prepare the extract from the grape seed, it will polyphenols 95%, whereas proanthocyanidin is 95%, which is mainly used for controlling the blood sugar. Right now, you will find that cardiac arrest and diabetes and cancer. These are the very good. These are the very most of the people are suffering of that particular disease. So now most of the research paper and most of the work and from the industry people, they are going with this anti-cancer drug, development of anti-diabetic product, and development of that is particular products used in this heart disease and all. And next move on to this, we can say as cosmetic product like rosemary extract. rosemary officinalis, which contain the urusolic acid, which is a triterpenoids, okay, pentacyclic triterpenoids. So 30% standardized extract is available in the market. Next, we all know that moringa extract. Now, the people are in local newspaper also, you will find the advertisement regarding the use of moringa. Means in Gujarati, we can say the saragwa extract. It contains 10% proteins and 0.1% alkaloids. It's a very good antioxidant and general health benefit of that particular saragwa moringa extract. In green tea, in in market you will find the lots of variant of green teas. Okay, you need to just keep one green tea bag inside the water. This simply decoction. You need to take it in the early morning. It will reduce your weight. And main thing is anti-aging. Everyone want to be look good in terms of the personality. So in general, also people are using green tea and Garcinia extracts. This is that contain the hydroxycitric acid, which is the main bioactive compound present in the Garcinia fruits, which is reduce the lipid. It means this extract is mainly useful to the weight or maintain the weight of the human body. Next, phytopharmaceutical, fighting disease with natural substance. So Central Drug Standard Control Organization have given the definition. In that particular definition, they have given that fraction with the defined minimum 4 bioactive marker compounds. If your extract or your formulation is contain the 4 biomarker compounds, then and thenly you can consider this particular product as a phytopharmaceutical products. So this is one step ahead of this normal extracts. Pharmaceutical drugs generally used for treatment, okay, whereas phytopharmaceutical drug uses preventive as much curative purpose also. Same example I have given. This is the IP monograph of Arjuna, in which they have mentioned like 4 phytochemical compounds like arginogetin, argunigenin, arginolic acid, arjunic acid. So that Arjuna also contains the gallic acid. But why they have not mentioned the gallic acid? Because gallic acid is very good phytocompound, but not bioactive compound in terms of the Arjuna extracts. Next, HPTLC, a sophisticated tool for the quality control of herbal drugs. See, if you have a single extract and you will go with the HPLC, HPLC is also very good tools. But in terms of the herbal product, I generally prefer the HPTLC for the qualitative evaluation of this simultaneous estimation of the more than 15 sample in a single plate. So this is the, I'm not going in detail with the each and every module of the HPTLC, but yes, in HPTLC nowadays, robotic HPTLC is available. Means automatically you need to just prepare the mobile phase and you need to keep the plate inside the that your instrument, and at the end you will have this derivatized plate with the graph and everything. So this is the recent advancement in terms of this HPTLC. So you will find in HPTLC association more than 300 monograph with entire detailing like mobile phase, solvent system, sample preparation, standard preparation, then detection wavelength, derivatization reagent preparation, and everything is given on this HPTLC association website. You will find the atlas and methods for this with very good photographs. See, here I have downloaded some of the photographs like curcumin, haldi. You will find bis-methoxycurcumin, bis-methoxycurcumin, and curcumin. Generally 3-peak curcumin is available in market, which is known as 95% curcumin. And also the ratio of that 3 components also given. If your bis-methoxycurcumin is more than 2.5%, it means your haldi is not qualified in terms of these standardized extracts. So this is the guideline given for that. So simply for phytochemical screening, what we are doing is like barcode test, vanilling test, like failing test for identification of sugar, like for identification of polyphenol compound, we are using ferric chloride solutions. But see, when you are using the alkaloid test, Dragendorf track, Hager track, Meyer, Prick, all these tests you use, the reagent solution is also orange color, and you are claiming as orange PPTs. How to differentiate whether your compound containing that alkaloid or not? So in that particular issues, if you have very good HPTLC system, simply you just put the TLC and you run with particular derivative reagent. If you spray your plate with the FeClC reagent, if your plate is giving blue color zone, it indicates that your plant contains the polyphenolic compound. So in this way, this is a simple but a very important tools in terms of the quality controls of herbal product. See, availability of standard is the main issue in this herbal era, because we don't have standards. Even the standards are very costly when you go with this Sigma and Merck and some other company standards you will procure from that. It is very costly and the quantity is very less, only 5 mg, 10 mg. You can do only 4 to 5 analytical tests in terms of one standard. So no one is ready to develop this standard because it's very complex and very complicated process. In terms of industry, even though you need to develop the cost effective product, even you will find that the methanol or the ethanolic extract is very good for this phytochemical, but due to that cost effective process you need to go with the hydroalcoholic extract. So that time you have that list of standards and you have that particular very good process of the isolation, you will have this very good product. See, simple here, the ginkgo biloba is a well-known herbs. It is the monograph of the ginkgo biloba is mentioned in everywhere. You will find USP, British Pharmacopoeia, Indian Pharmacopoeia everywhere. See here, the color of fourth test tube is less. If visually you will find that this extract is not good because the color generally we are considering like if your compound is fully soluble in alcohol, water, it means that it's very good. It contains the higher amount of phytochemical. But see the TLC, HPLC fingerprinting of that particular fourth test tube. It's a very intense. It means it contains the higher amount of particular ginkgolides or ginkgo flavonoids in that extracts. See, in identification of the correct species from the different species. See, simultaneously here, 5 species. The main species Hyporhecum, Purpuretum. But you will find in other species the orange zone. The down orange zone, it is the particular band of routine. So routine is absent in different other species. So this is the qualitative criteria. If you are targeting the that particular species like Hypericum purpuretum, then routine must be there in your fingerprinting. Then and then only you can say that yes, your plant is Hypericum purpuretum. And this is my recent work. I have standardized the Mahasudarshan tablet with the 9 non-biomarker compound, including gallic acid, then androgofolide, then curcumin, quercetin, rutin, and all different 9 biomarker compounds. So in industry, people are continuously dealing with that particular part and this particular standardization part. So the Mahasudarshan is a very good tablet available in market. I think Imami people, they have Dabur and Imami, they both have launched their particular formulation for Mahasudarshan tablets. Also, our recent work detection of substitution in Sudarshan tablet. See, Sudarshan tablet contain more than 48 ingredients, herbal ingredients. So it is very difficult to standardize that particular tablet with the individual of herbal compounds. So in that particular one, main hobbies means around 40% of this Sudarshan formulation contain the chiraita. But chiraita is a very costly. Whereas some people are using endegofolite, means calmic. Both these compounds are of bitterness value, means the calmic is also bitter and chiraita is also bitter. So here I have run the endegofolite standard. Endegofolite is only present in the calmic, which is not present in chiraita. So at the last two band, last two extract, you will find that endegofolite sport which is present in the calmic, whereas endegofolite sport is not present in the chiraita. So this way you need to develop such a methodology in terms of the quality control of that particular product. And here is the referencing that I'm using for this day-to-day my regulatory industrial work in terms of HPLC, HPTLC, isolation, bioactive carrier fractionation, column chromatography, and this is one of the best book that I have gone through, this Wagner book for the TLC purpose. For those students who are pursuing BPharm and those students who are pursuing masters in their pharmacognosy and natural product, there for the HPTLC part, you must go with this particular book and you will find the very good photograph also with the entire methodology. And from that particular photograph, you will take the identification and the qualitative estimation of particular compounds in your dissertation work or in your plant. So this is my photograph that I have taken during 2016 in the Valley of Flower taking expenditure. So thank you so much, Dixit sir. This is the end from my side. And if anybody have any questions and anything, please, it's my pleasure to share my knowledge and my expertise in terms of this quality control of herbal product. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your sharing your valuable time with lots of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Anyone having a questions? So I think there is no question in chat
Okay.
box.
Okay.
But myself, sir have nicely explained regarding the approach for quality control of herbal medicines. And recently, sir have explained a very good in a clinical activity for particular extract and given the knowledge regarding the 4 biomarker compounds nowadays we need for the standardization of dry extract. Then also the quality control is very much important for nowadays for herbal drugs as well as for the nutraceuticals. Uh, and this types of problems we are facing to promote the herbal drugs. Sir has given the example of lavender, and there are 4 species. Sir has nicely explained, as well as the geotagging data. What is the importance of geotagging data nowadays? Sir has given the emphasis on that, and also the given the data for IP started the for the biomarker compounds as well as the nowadays the technology is upgrading and nowadays people are using the DNA markers as well as the PCR techniques for the fingerprinting as well as for the HPLC. Then sir, I have also given the example of lights because we are using the some herbal medicines as a raw material, but there are some electricians are present in the raw material, so we have to also don't rely upon the marketed formulation, but we have to take on the raw material as a drug, so there will be no chance for the adulterations. And one recently, sir, I have mentioned the voucher specimen, herbarium. When I was in BPharm, then the first year, we were also prepared the herbarium, and it was compulsory because the subject of pharmacognosy in first year, and we have to prepare that. So it will be also one of the authentication when we are preparing a herbarium, and it is a gold standard. Sir has given the gold standard reference, so it should be a very much. And now some sir have shown some books like HPL for the HPTLC or TLC by Wagner. So we are also using the Wagner's for the TLC and for the HPTLC. It is a definitely good book. So very much important knowledge given by the sir. So sir, thank you very much. On behalf of Sri Lalbhai Patel College of Pharmacy and as a coordinator of this event, I am very much thankful to you, sir. And in I hope in future we are arranging such type of program and definitely we will invite you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Sir, one question from one
Yes.
student.
Yes.
What
Yes.
is nano nutraceutical and which country follow the nano nutraceutical?
But right now, it's see in foreign demands they are not considering this. You need to prepare the nanoparticle formulation only. Like in Trifla, in market, most of the formulations are available. Nanoparticle of Trifla, nano curcumin is also available. But there is no any particular country limited guideline. Means no any like in USA, UK, like following the. If you want to, you have your particular guideline or you have the particular document that particular product, then you go with that. But there is no any restriction like in particular country limited. No any country like following there is guideline for nano pharmaceutical. But yes, this is the future trend. Nowadays, people are preparing the water soluble curcumin also. Actually, curcumin is the alcohol soluble compound, but still white curcumin is also available. So this is the future trend of herbal.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Anyone? So there is no question. So thank you very much. Sanjeev sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All of you have to fill, there is a small instruction that all of you have to fill the attendance and feedback forms to get the e-certificate for today's program. Now we have a third plenary session. Now we have the second plenary session by Dr. Sanjeev Acharya, Principal, SSR College of Pharmacy, Silvassa. I request Dr. Jasmina Surti ma'am to chair the session. But before that, there is a small change in the program schedule as well. The valedictory function will be in continuation to the third plenary session without any lunch break. Please stay tuned for today's session as attendance link and feedback will be provided anytime during the sessions. All of you have to fill up both the attendance forms and feedback links for today's program. So now I hand over to Jasmina ma'am. I'm afraid that sir has still not joined the session. Just wait for 5 minutes, all of you. Can take a small break. होस्ट बना तो शेयर कर सके.
Welcome, sir. आवाज નથી આવતો. તારે અનમ્યુટ હશે maybe.
Is it audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Okay, audible now.
Okay.
Let me start.
Just a minute.
Okay, no problem. So we are going to introduce you.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can start. Yeah.
Okay, madam, continue.
Dr. Sanjeev Acharya sir. I would like to introduce our next session expert, Dr. Sanjeev R. Acharya. Sir is currently principal at SSR College of Pharmacy, Silvassa. Sir has total 26 years of which 15 11 years in industry. Sir has guided PhD and 25 PG students. Sir has consulted 17 research projects. Sir has 38 international and research publications to his account. Sir has 10 in various seminars and workshops. Sir is member of various bodies like IST, IPA, ISCC, IPTI, and many more. Sir was nominated for Best PhD Guide for year 2015, winner of the Samsung Guide for Pharmacology, winner of 3 Innocentive Awards for solving open web challenges floated by Innocentive. With and I would like to say that you can start your session.
My screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. So, very good morning to all. Thank you for giving the brief introduction. I think so. Thank you, Dikshit Modi. Thank you, Biren Bhai, for giving this opportunity to talk with all esteemed audience. I hope many of the students have already gone through different kind of lectures because I have gone through the topics and many have taken the topic related to Indian regulatory perspective. I think I am only the person who has been allotted for the global perspective. So my topic is a little bit. We can go with global idea. I will brief you some Indian aspect to just retrieve that how comparatively we are working in Indian context. So global perspective on regulatory landscape of dietary supplement and herbal medicines. I would first give the very important two words here. One is the supplement and another is the medicine. So anyone who understand supplementation and medicine, there are very vast difference. Supplements are supporting and medicines are for curing or treating. So whenever we keep the perspective of regulatory affairs in terms of supplements and when in terms of medicines, they are quite different and they have a lot of variability. Majorly, I would say that 99 or 100% drugs at 100% herbal material at present, they are as supplements. There is only a very few, we can say globally, I am saying very few medicines, herbal we can say drugs. I would not want to use the word drug, but herbal materials are considered as drug. So we will take up some studies from US FDA because I found that botanical regulation they have well defined. So we'll start with limited idea. This is already many have shared with you earlier also. So overall, we can say supplementation market is growing very fast, and we are talking about herbal supplements in that is almost at the rate of 11%. Vitamins, minerals, this all comes under the supplements part. And when we talk about supplements, the things in the world is changing in different way. Everyone is defining it in its own way because there is lacking of harmonization. But there is a sufficient effort recent time started. Specifically, China has taken the lead in recent past, like in 2018. There is a global meet being organized between all the FDA regulators for making the synchronization and harmonization between the countries' guidelines. And we know that in pharmaceuticals there is a lot of harmonization is going on. That is, ICH is taking care of entire harmonization of the medicines, even though country has their own specific guideline. But overall, 90-95% guidelines are followed as per the ICH. So in this regard, we don't have yet in herbal and dietary supplements such guidelines, which is harmonized guideline. So there is a consensus going on, and we will discuss some of the points of that consensus recently in 2018, which has been discussed in our next slides. So this is the overall business, $700 billion, or we can say the billion rupees. Sorry, not the dollar. This is in INR, and we can talk that most of the business is at present in the wellness part and healthcare part, and limited, like I can say, 10 to 15% business is in supplementation of herbal part. Otherwise, majorly people are talking about proteins and vitamins. Now, if you talk about the medicine part, we say pharmaceutical product part, then also there are a lot of things are going on. There are four major players in the world, that is Abbott, Bionova, Eli Lilly, and Lupin. These are the four top companies who are talking about botanical plant-derived drug. So they are talking about drug part. So here they isolate the compound or they purify the compound from the natural product. Generally, pharmacognosy people, we do this part much more, and then making a compound to be tested in vitro model, then in vivo model, and then going for the phase 1 clinical trial, 2, 3. So it's all going as per the drug type. And here the major aim is to treat some disease. So that is the major looking after, and in that major product we found is oncology and dermatology and CNS diseases. These are the three areas where I would say many compounds are derived. Hormones are generally considered as a supplementation part again, but yes, they are also a major, we can say. But in that regard, I would say oncology is the biggest area where maximum revenue is invested for identifying the new molecules to treat the specific kind of cancer. And we can say year on year, these things are going accelerated, and I would say in 2026 you will have a lot of we can say oncology product. You can say there is a lot of demand will be going on for oncology product from natural because of the safety. This is also interesting slide that how many number of botanical drugs are considered as an investigational new drug, that is IND and NDA. That is the very common things which we know, and only I would say US FDA has given that opportunity that they have a separate guideline for botanical drugs, that how to register the botanical drugs. In that regard, if we take the data from 2002 to 2016, we don't have data recent past, that is up to 2022. I tried yesterday also and today morning, but I could not find the exact IND and NDA filed in recent time. But up to 2016, if you see, there are only two molecules, that is in 2005 one and in 2011. These two have got the NDA approval. So you can understand new drug approval from botanical origin is very, very limited in the world. In US FDA specifically, I don't talk about India because India still we have a lot of differences. Like we have Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathic medicine, Unani medicine. We have a we can say supplements. We have a FSSAI. We have a BCGI where phytopharmaceuticals are there. So we have a lot of things in India where a drug like one drug like a amla can be registered FSSAI as supplement and registered as a vitamin C supplementation. Then the same product can be registered in Ayurveda as Chyawanprash. Same product can be registered in Unani as some Kwatha or some specific kind of extract. Or the same drug can be also being registered in DCGI also if you are extracting and purifying a tannin and registering. So the one product can be registered in every place here, but in case of we can say US FDA, they have divided either you can register a dietary supplement or either you can register as a drug. I am talking this slide as a drug. So if this is a drug we are talking, then only two molecules are at present being approved as NDA up to 2016. I don't know after 2016 any molecules are approved by NDA is approved or not, but this is two molecules. I will discuss the story of this two molecule also, that what are these two particular botanical origin drugs actually are and for what they have been approved. One is for topical preparation only. So when we talk about this tradition, we can say overall nutraceutical and herbal drug, they have a different kind of we can say trend. Many times I would say that how we will register NDA in a day one. There is no need of register NDA for any botanical drug in day one. Many of these, we can say, formulations or purified compounds, a group of purified compounds, they have been launched initially as supplements. Then they have seen in the market how that supplements are progressing in the market, what is the result in the market. After giving the result analysis and after they found that some particular disease it is giving extraordinary effect, then they are submitting their ANDA and then they are submitting their IND, investigational new drug, and after once they submit IND, they submit the NDA. So you can understand that it is nowhere like that. You have to start with, in pharma. What happens in pharmaceuticals, like if you want to go for your drug, it has to be go with IND first. You cannot register the drug directly like a supplement. So there is no possibility in pharma. But in herbal and we can say nutraceutical or the herbal medicine point of view, I would say, when we try to make a supplement to a drug, like a journey of a one supplement to make it as a drug, so that is possible, that if you initially register that particular material as supplement, and then on the basis of your experience of post-marketing surveillance and you get some specific leads and you do the specific clinical trials. Here phase 1 clinical trial can be omitted, but phase 2, phase 3 and we can say post-marketing, that if you are prescription drug or OTC drug, depending on that, your trial number and sample size has to be decided. So the trend is that growing focus on development of drug for a new indication. So there is a new trend. Many times what happens that this trend is deciding that how the future will be. So I would say 5 or 10 years of the we can say before, we were never knowing that there is a immunity will be the boosting part. That immunity will be a need of the time. Today immunity is a talk of the town. So you don't know the trend, how the things are going on. And in 2020, when we see the coronavirus, the first alternate things everywhere in the world was with the help of the nutrition supplements only. Nowhere drugs were there, and even though majority of population has survived, majority of population has not been infected, and if they got the infection, a majority of them has got a minor only the infection. So that's a sign that the first line of trend is that the immunity we were never talking before 2020, and today everywhere you find immunity is talk. Next market driver is the second very important thing, is that growing demand for effective treatment of chronic disease. You know, a couple of diseases are such where you don't able to define, like skin diseases. I would say very interesting. We don't find any treatment in skin diseases from synthetic medicines. So what happens that majorly people are relying on herbal or natural medicines for the synthetic drugs. And third line, what I have seen is the market drivers. That is, a market driver can be like a limitations also there, that conventional drugs are having limitations. They cannot cure sometime. They cannot have a actual, they only symptomatic. So that is another driving force. And what is the forecast is the market is projected very high. In by 21 they have projected, but I would say that is already crossed the limits, because these projections are considered before corona part. So now after corona, these projections are even prediction is higher side. So the thing is, what I feel here is that the conditions of this trend to drive it to forecast is deciding how the pipeline will be there for next 10 years. And in this pipeline, the many efforts are going on all over the world, not in India, I would say all over the world, to make that supplementation towards a cure part. The reason I am talking about supplement to medicine is the supplement is maybe given in a smaller quantity, and maybe to get that in a curative format, you need that dose to be little higher. For example, if I am giving curcumin in a supplementation 500 milligram, but for curing certain disease, I need to give to 2 grams per day, then that is a journey from where you have to say that if you will go towards 2 grams per day, it will give a curing effect. If it will be less than 500 milligram, it will be a supplementation effect. So that's the way the entire things are going on in the world, and we need to understand the regulatory part on that ground, and it will be a right time to understand this in a current scenario. So what is important here? The focus must be safety first, then efficacy. So first is we can say is a safety in this supplement part, because if safety is not there, no one will allow your particular botanicals in the market. So you cannot compromise safety. Yes, in pharmaceuticals, many times safety is compromised. We have seen many histories, but in case of botanical drug, the very important part is the safety of the particular medicine or particular botanicals. If we talk about safety, then it has to be gone with the many things, like you have to, safety is always associated with the quality. So you have to first go for, nowadays DNA barcoding is compulsory in certain products, advanced analytical technique, AI has to be used, AI is now everywhere is used, qualified presumption of safety is required, blockchain is required, in silico trials are to be done, omic approach is required, centralized database to be created. So these are all part of, like we can say, equality and safety together. And many times a conventional approach is like taking the conventional safety like toxicity studies and that. Higher side approach is like DNA barcoding, AI, in silico. These are coming in a newer way of considering the safety trial. So, but the ultimate aim is to focus on the safety. That is very crucial and very important thing in this. Now, what is global regulatory challenges? I will come to the global regulatory challenges and its harmonization. The biggest is the harmonization. You know, the terminology harmonization is the if I am harmonized in the global, what happens that it will be easier to do the submissions. It will be easier to file the product and register the product in all over the world, and maximum number of patients will be get the benefit of it. So the number of individuals that uses dietary supplement and herbal medicine products are continuously increasing in many countries, and it's not in India, it's all over the world. This consumption is increased. The context of this usage of dietary supplement varies widely from country to country. In some countries, supplement use is just limited to general health, well-being, while in other, it permits for medicinal purpose only. For India, for example, many times Ayurvedic products we are saying safe, but they are permitted for medicinal purpose. So this is the way, like many countries are considering it for medicinal purpose, many countries are only considering for supplementation. To the date, there is a very little consensus from the country to country on this scope and requirements and definitions, and even the terminology in which the dietary supplement and herbal medicine categories could be classified. I will go for what are the terminologies at present going on in the world officially, and we will see their definitions. So in this regard, there is one meeting happened in 2018, September. That is a global summit on regulatory science for specifically nutraceutical and herbal drugs. And there was some consensus. I am giving that consensus. This is a published paper. You can refer in regulatory and toxicology science. There is a very well-known research paper by elsewhere. And in 2021, there is a one publication published, and this publication has given that what is this conference as, because these FDA people as being a part of that conference, they have come to some consensus, and that consensus we are talking in this lecture. So as far as terminologies are concerned, what are the terminologies at present all over the world going on apart from India? I am not talking Indian context. I am only talking about the other than India context. One is the dietary supplement. This terminology of dietary supplement is only used mainly used in United States and New Zealand, because New Zealand is adopting US regulations. So in the USA, the term dietary supplements are legally defined for the product. The Federal Food and Drug Cosmetic Act defines dietary ingredient as vitamins, mineral, herbs, other botanicals, amino acids, dietary substance for used by men to supplement the diet by increasing the total dietary intake, concentrate, metabolite, constituent, extract, or combination of proceeding substance. See, the definition defines everything. It also the mean of diet, so supplements should not make claim such as reduces pain and treat heart diseases. This is also stopped. And claim like these can only legitimately be made for drugs, not for dietary supplement. And dietary supplement includes such ingredients as vitamins, minerals, herbals, we can say amino acids, enzymes, and they are mainly marketed as we can say tablet, capsules, soft gel, gel caps, powders, and liquids. So you can understand there is a claim on this product has to be not as per what we can say FDA has restricted certain claims like reduces pain and treat heart disease is not allowed. So claim substantiation is the second part, but first very important thing is that they should not be considered as drug. They, unlike drugs, they should only to be intended that, and this line is required, that supplements are not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent and cure disease in every label. If you see any supplement label, any supplement of US, you will find this label. In India also people are writing now this because many are exporting the drug supplement in US, so they don't want to do two label, but this is a particular line you have to mention when it is a supplements. In India also now it is compulsory that you have to write, if it is FSSAI registered, you have to write this particular line that this particular product is not intended to treat, diagnose, prevent or cure any diseases. Now second is the herbal medicine. Now supplement and now medicine. So medicine is different word. So it is interpreted differently in different jurisdictions. So when I am saying herbal medicine, many times I have a debate in many pharmacognosy second year, third year, we are writing herbal drugs many times. And they are like ginger as a drug, or we can say they write haldi as a drug, or we have many like cumin as a drug, or fennel as a drug. They are not drug actually, and many times this is misunderstood by our pharmacognosy, we can say community. I am many times saying, don't use such type of words which is not regulated words. We are pharmacy academicians, and as far as what I understand personally, that we must use the regulatory terms. So we can use botanicals. We cannot use drug. Even syllabus people are mentioning herbal drugs. They are not drugs at all. When we term drug, it has to be FDA oriented terminology only. And this is the common we can say challenge that we are all has to come across, and we need to understand regulatory in our day-to-day practice, because we are pharmaceutical graduate and we only in the community, entire professional community of the healthcare, I would say only pharma graduates are only understanding regulatory. Otherwise, no one, even doctors don't know what is regulatory. So many times, if regulatory people or the person who is a regulatory expert is not using the right terminology, it is a challenge. So medicine, when we use, it is differently being harmonized in different country, and that is the why that herbal preparation could have the active ingredients that are either part of one plant or derived from combination of multiple plants. And this medicine preparation in some countries contain the active ingredient in non-plant source as well, such as mineral or animal part. In United States, the herbal medicine would come under botanicals, some of which are included under dietary supplement. In New Zealand, the herbal remedies they are using, while in EU, they are writing as herbal medicinal product. Different jurisdictions have a different regulation, difference in regulation. So the herbal medicine actually don't exist as such in a regulatory understanding. This particular terminology is a marketing terminology or the talking terminology, not the regulatory terminology. That is what I want to convey in this lecture. Then functional food. The functional food is, there is a no defined or legal terminology. However, it is used as an alternative term for the nutraceuticals, or with the concept of the food can have some health benefits. Functional food can be an extract, powder. There can be different kind of functional foods. In FSSAI also, the functional food category has been added. But overall, when I am talking about functional food, it is actually reducing the gaps in between the food and a nutraceutical. So I would say it is not pure food, it is not pure tablet or like that. So if I am putting a capsule or we can say tablet, that is a nutraceutical. If I am putting that same particular supplementation in form of some milk powder or something like a juice, ready to mix juice, then it becomes functional food. So I would prefer that functional food and food need to be very clear to everyone, that the food look like a food but have a supplementation type of property are functional food. And when I'm saying nutraceutical, it is look like a pharmaceutical but given a category of like having a efficacy like a supplements, they are terms as nutraceutical. So food and nutraceutical, this functional food is in between. Then health food, many Japan and China is using health food. everywhere, like Japan and China is mainly terming health food because they have a separate provision for the traditional medicines. And the general concept of health food is that the food contains nutrients as well as health benefits. They have not allowed too many herbal or their traditional medicines in this category, health food category. Then natural health products, that is a terminology, NHP. This is a terminology used in Canada. The natural health product is the category created for a variety of products that are naturally sourced, products intended for improving human health, and they are well defined in Canada and contains a variety of products like vitamins, mineral, herbal. They have added herbal and homeopathic medicines can be added, and traditional medicines. So this NHP is allowing to add herbal and homeopathic medicine. Then food supplement, again, it is not a terminology which is widely like regulatory terminology. This terminology is again being used everywhere as a marketing terminology. So many organizations are using, many organizations are not allowing to use this term. Novel food, this is terminology EU, Canada and Australia is allowing. And complementary medicine, this is a terminology which is allowed in Australia because Australia is having separately complementary medicine, and that in complementary medicines they are allowing this herbal and we can say botanical products. Alternative medicine again is a terminology which is widely accepted as we understand that modern allopathic medicines and alternative medicines. Somewhere I don't understand till in the world that why alternative medicines and modern medicines are separately being termed. When I am saying alternative medicine, it creates a confusion in the patient because patient don't understand that what is drug and what is supplement. And that is why, as a regulator, I would say it has to be very clear. Drug must be a drug, or medicine must be termed as medicine, and supplement must be termed as supplement. If this two is very clearly defined, then the things are more easily regulated in the world. The second is a traditional medicine. In India, we use Ayurveda, Unani. This all comes under traditional medicine. So that's again not a terminology which is FDA regulated terminology. Then TCM. This is a FDA regulated area in China. They have a separate category of TCM class, and that all the medicines which they are practicing in their traditional Chinese medicine, they all are termed here, and they have given separate category. Like Ayurveda, we have given a separate Ayush as a separate department. Similarly, TCM is a separate department in China. Then Kempo, that is the separate department of Japan, who is taking care of Japanese medicine. But as Japan is taking most of the medicines, their traditional system of medicine is coming from China. So their Kempo is the particular herbal drugs which is Chinese, which is Japanese origin, and they have kept it separate regulatory provisions for Kempo medicines, which is a Japanese traditional medicine. It is just like we have kept Ayush as a separate and DCGI as a separate. Similarly, these two are the separate agencies taking care. Separate registration process is taking care for Kempo medicine and traditional Chinese medicine. Now, how FDA of a developed countries are looking at this particular entire segment. So I have kept it like when it is classified as supplement. So I have divided this in two parts. So everyone, I hope that after my lecture at least they will be clear about what is classified supplement and what is classified as medicine, and they can understand where to register and what when they see the label, at least they can understand whether it is a supplement or a medicine. So USA, there is only one regulatory agency. FDA is taking care of. Either they allow as dietary supplement, and that is under Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition. That is the department. Many times it is in terminology CFASN they are terming, but dietary supplement is allowed to contain herbs, botanicals, up to maximum 5 ingredients of herbs, not more than. They don't allow above than 5 ingredients anyhow. Vitamins, minerals, amino acids. Dietary substance for use for man to supplement the diet for increasing the total intake, specifically for man. Concentrate, metabolite, constituent, extract, combination of the proceeding substance. So extracts are allowed and whole medicines are allowed in supplements. While when they classify as a medicine, they are classifying as a botanical drug, and that is evaluated by Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, CDER, FDA. So it will go as per the FDA guideline only, and I will little bit going in detail on this botanical class. This is the topic which I found that not been known to many. So I will discuss this particular in detail, this particular part, botanical drugs in US FDA. Australia, there is a therapeutic food administration, there is TGA, and complementary medicine, they are having no thing is defined in supplements very clearly. Like they don't allow herbs and botanical in supplements part. Specifically, they allow herbs, mineral, vitamins that is in complementary medicine and complementary OTC medicine brands under TGA. And in that, they have herbs, vitamin, mineral, nutritional supplement. Homeopathy they allow. We don't find homeopathy in US FDA, but it is allowed in Australia. So when you talk on homeopathy medicine, you should understand that US how to register and Australia how to register. And they also allow some microorganisms, which is whole extracted, like we can say specifically that is helping in gut microflora. Then Australia is again having another option, that is if you have a supplement, but it is given as a novel food. They have termed it as a novel food. So that's a separate department, that is Food Standard Australia and New Zealand. And like in our Indian case, we have all three agencies separate. Like we have a DCGI is separate, Ayush is separate, and FSSI is separate. So in India, we will have a three agencies. If you have to go with Indian context, then we have a Ayush will be classified in medicine. DCGI is only classifying phytopharmaceuticals, and FSSAI is classifying as supplements. So this is the way you have to understand Indian context here. Then New Zealand. Then New Zealand is the agency is New Zealand Ministry of Primary Industries. They classify as supplement only. They are not specifically giving supplement agency and their MedSafe agency. They are separate. In supplement food, there is supplemented food that is classified as a, we can say, food modified with added substance, and their dietary supplements are being regulatory agencies New Zealand Medicine and Medicinal Device Safety Authority, that is MedSafe, who is taking care of dietary supplement. They also classify as drug, but that is not termed as herbal remedies. It is not herbal medicine, but they use the word herbal remedies. It is a technical, we can say, approved terminology of New Zealand. It also has a food standard, same we say in, because food standard of Australia and New Zealand are together, because you can register one country and you can get, like you registered with Australia, you will automatically also get approval for the New Zealand. So that is for novel food, and that is we have already Australia and New Zealand, that is same. That is novel food category is allowed in Australia as well as New Zealand. Canada, it is a Health Canada who is taking care entire things, and they don't classify directly as supplement, but they classified as natural health products, where they allow traditional medicine, herbal medicines, homeopathy, and traditional Chinese medicines. Traditional medicines covers traditional Chinese medicine. That is a China, that is a Chinese Food and Drug Administration. They allow supplement as health food, and in case of medicine, they allow traditional Chinese medicine. In Japan, Ministry of Health and Labor Welfare offer medicine, that is health food and Campo medicine, as I already discussed. EU is a very different, European Medicinal, EMA is taking care, but EMA is only classifying herbal medicinal products. National, we can say, competent authority of EU members of the state is taking care of herbal medicinal products. And when it is EU member state, it is a national competent authority of European Food Safety Authority, if centralized procedure is applied, and they allow substance with nutritional and physiological effect, vitamins, minerals, and botanicals, and they don't have at present directly classified as a medicines. So when in this regard, we have seen that there are agencies. These are the agencies which is taking care either supplementation or either medicines. Now, if it is classified as supplement and if it is classified with the medicine, what are the differences will be? Your product name, your product therapeutic claim, your product recommendation of dose, everything is very interestingly you should understand. So if you are classifying in US, Australia, New Zealand, I have kept 3 as a category. Then agency will be FDA, that is already discussed. Product will be dietary supplement. Australia, you will not have novel food can be there, but not the dietary supplement. And supplemented food, dietary supplements they can give. In this regard, in supplementation business, all over the world, only oral route and topical routes are only allowed. But most of the time, supplements only allowing you oral route. In case of medicine, they are allowed orally as well as topically. So that is the important thing. You can keep it in the discussion. And if it is identified with medicine, what are the things you have kept it? You need a clinical trial data, you need therapies, medicine only, medicine and homeopathy and aromatherapy, medicine only, reported adverse reaction is required, and historical usage. That means you have to give a reference that how many years this particular drug is there in the market. At present, minimum 10 to 15 years is the guideline that that particular drug, particular supplement, what you want to convert into drug or medicine, it has to have 10 years or 15 years of the downtime in the market, and then they're allowing, because they are not compulsorily asking for phase 1 clinical trial. Directly you can go for phase 2 clinical trial. This is because of that. This comparative chart, my slides if required, I will share with you all to understand it, and I will not go in detail of all of the limitation of time. Now, if you take a one case study like green tea versus vitamin A, for example, green tea extract is coming from a natural, we can say herbal medicine, and if it is a vitamin E, that is a vitamin source. How that things will be defined and how that things will be classified. So, if it is green tea extract, it will be classified in US both as supplement but in case of green tea, it will be classified as dietary supplement, and there can be issuance of warning letter for liver damage, uh, other mad watch reports and other things. Just a minute, huh? just on hold. I have one urgent call. Urgent lecture. Okay. Sorry. Now, if same is classified as medicine, it is classified as Virgin. That is, we'll say the Virgin case study we are taking. This particular green tea extract is already there as supplement, is already there as medicine also in US, and that is when classified as medicine. It is termed as the brand name is Virgin, and it is giving ointment containing green tea extract. This is a topical formulation, and this is classified ND. This is approved NDA that I have talked to. NDA is approved as a botanical drug. One of that NDA which is approved is Virgin, that is a green tea extract ointment, and that is a topical ointment. We'll see in which disease it has been classified. In Canada, if the same green tea extract you want to register, it is classified as medicine, and you have to go with the natural health product as a department. And in case of vitamin E, it is classified as medicine, and same OTC product. Adverse drug reaction and everything has to be monitored. EU classified as supplements, food supplement. If China classified as supplement, Japan classified as supplement, most of them as classified. Australia is classifying as medicine, and in New Zealand also it is classified as supplement. Similarly, in this case, if you say vitamin E, in case of Canada it is classified as medicine. Otherwise, also in most of the other we can say countries, it's classified as supplement or food. So now, why I've kept these two? One is the source of herbal, one is the source of vitamin. Even though you can see that there is a lot of variability among the countries. So when you are making one product, you need to understand regulatory requirement of every country. That is why there is a sincere need of harmonization in all the world. So that is going on. Maybe we can see by 2025, if everything goes smooth, we will get a ICH, separate ICH for herbal and nutraceutical, which will allow everyone to sell their product between the boundaries. Now, if I am having a one, like many people have that nutraceutical, what is the thing we need to do when, how many certifications you want, or how many things you require to have a selling of a nutraceutical? You can understand this is only the number of certifications you need when you register a supplement or food. You need to give to your FDA or whatever regulatory agency of that country is. You need to, COA is all common, everywhere COA is there, but you have to give statement of solvent, organic certification if you are registering as organic, you say that this is organic extract or organic product, organic certification, non-GMO certification, heavy metal, gluten-free, allergen. I will have a list of allergens. What are the number of allergens you have to test? Aflatoxin, cereal-free, benzoalpha-pyron free, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, that is PAH, 4-free, plasticizer-free, preservative statement if any preservative is there, vegan certification, sulfur dioxide certification, BSc, that is bovine spongiform encephalopathy and TSC declaration, that what is the BSC and TSC levels if there is a micro or live live kind of product. Dioxin free DHEA, that is dihydroepiandrosterone, that is a steroid. It is a one kind of steroid which is to be identified in some of the product which is having this particularly energy or related to muscle strength. Then doping certification, ethylene dioxide is a big thing today in Europe. I think you may be aware about or not, I don't know, but there is around 8 to 10 consignment of India has been rejected by EU just because of they found E2O in their product, and there is a very huge we can say regulatory constraint and the ban has going on. I think Vidya or Arjuna or Vidya, I just not Sammy. These three companies have already faced this issue of this EDC problem. So you can understand the EDC is now the ethylene dichloride as well as E2O. There is ethylene dioxide. These two are very stringently being now tested for Indian consignments. Every company is now red alert on that ground. Then egg-free statement, melamine statement, latex, mycotoxin, nanomaterial statement, non-irradiation statement, pesticide statement, tetrahydrocannabinol free statement. These are the certifications you have to do when you are planning anything for a we can say selling of a nutraceutical product. It is not limited to this. It may have some more. Maybe I have taken up to 2020 data. My slides may maybe few certification is added, but this is the minimum certification you have to play with. How many allergens? Now allergen is required in food supplement very high. That is, these are the list of allergens which we need to define that they are absent, or if they are present, what is the quantity. If they are present, then you have to find out the quantities of them. So almost you can see it is from cereals to legume, milk products, oil seeds, and we can say up to seafood. These things are to be mentioned in your label claim, or along with your we can say COA. You have to submit that these are the list of allergens which been tested for your product. Now after this we are going toward, this is over about nutraceutical part. Now if you go for a botanical drug, 10-15 minutes I will do we have time up to 12? Or what is the time limit?
Yes, sir. Still 20 minutes remaining, no problem.
Yeah, then fine. So botanical drug development guidance for the industry, this is published by US FDA and this is published by CDER, and it is in December 2016. So this particular regulation is, if you remove the corona phase, then 3 years there is a lot of things are under hamper. Only 4 years old we can say guidance. So it's a very recent guidance they have given, and in this guidance they allow the industry to think over that if they found their particular product substantially good in some specific disease, they can get the IND approval, and in that IND approval, if they approve, they can go for the NDA and they can register the product in US as drug, as prescription or OTC, that you can according to the disease classified, they can do it. Till that time, just to understand, there are two drugs are approved. First is the Verizin that we have already said in my earlier discussion, that green tea extract, when we talk, it is approved as first botanical drug, as a botanical drug under US FDA, not supplement. It is also approved as supplement. It is also approved as we can say drug, and that is 15% extract of green tea for treating genital and perianal warts. So specifically the wart which is there in case of genital organs, this particular warts, this particular extract is able to cure, and that's a very specific area of application. So you can understand it's not for any other wart, it is only for genital and perianal warts. So you can understand that it is not allowed for the wart for other schemes. So very specific approval is given. So definitely the result has been well studied, and then only this particular specific claim has been approved as a drug. So FDA approved the second botanical new drug, that is in December 31. This is a little bit we can say in 2005, and in 2012 there is another drug, that is the Fulizac. That is the Fulizac is the crofelemer 125 milligram tablet, that is from Salix Pharmaceuticals, North Carolina. This is the first oral prescription drug. Earlier, this is not oral. This is only a topical drug. Here, the first oral prescription botanical drug for novel indication of HIV-associated diarrhea. So this is a very specific claim. Again, it is HIV-associated diarrhea, not the common diarrhea. So you can understand that how much precision is there in US FDA when they give the approval of the drug. And I would just want to say that it's a if you go through that entire we can say NDA submission, you will find a lot of new information, and this can be kept as your MPharm students to discuss, so that they can understand that what kind of important parameters are there when you are trying for one botanical product converted from supplement to drug, how you have to proceed on it. So that's a very interesting case study. I have given some information here, but I'm not going to discuss, but I would just discuss that what they've given as an ingredient. Approval as an ingredient is very important. We have a myth in our mind that when we want a drug approval anywhere in USA, we want a purified compound. There is no need of very pure compound. What we need is the purified extract with identified ingredient or identified constituent in that purified extract. So you can see what they've allowed is the mixture of catechins and other green tea components, and catechin constitute 80 to 95% by weight of total drug substance, which includes more than 55%. So this is very important. Epigallocatechin gallate, that is EGCG, is the one of the phytoconstituent must be above 55% in your particular product, which is you want to say as 15% botanical drug. That is a 15% extract what you are claiming on ointment. In that 15%, that more than 55% must be is EGCG, and after that you should have other catechins also allowed, that is catechin derivative such as epicatechin, epigallocatechin, epicatechin gallate, and other additional minor catechin derived, and gallocatechin gallate and gallocatechin. This is the all list is given, so you can understand the very important thing they have given here is the interesting part, and that everyone has to note is that they are allowing not less, that is a 55%, and it should be more than 55%. So what is I am interested to say that even though only 55% purity of EGCG, it has given the approval of drug. Now many times there is a question mark, is many times we can say in our when we talk with some industrial people, they have a confusion that when I am registering my product, I will lose my IP. Many times it has been like a company that it will not give my trade secret. Now here is the trade secret, I would say. To make a 55% purified, more than 55% ECGC in your tea extract is the trade secret of the company. No one can, or like everyone cannot achieve that 55% purity. Very few who has developed that particular methodology can achieve it. So here their trade secrecy as well as their monopoly, both is intact because they have kept that particular things into their favor. This is a company's favor that other companies cannot come into easily. They have to achieve this particular purity in their extract. Otherwise, green tea extract anyone can prepare, anyone can do this particular formulation and sell in the market, but not able to do it. We are not able to file ANDA. Tomorrow, if there is a need, you find a good business, you find ANDA there, but you have to have 55% epigallocatechin to be allowed, and then you can get that ANDA filing possible. These are the ingredients, this is the indications they have given. The limitation of the use is that the safety effectiveness of Verigin have not been established for treatment beyond 16 weeks. So the ultimate limit is given of 16 weeks, the maximum time frame for application, and it is only allowed patient above 18 years. So it is only a adult product. There is no study that has been done for the kids and children products. So this is again a important thing which is mentioned in the approval. So it is a topical formulation first of all, and it is only allowed above for the adult and not more than 16 weeks of the treatment. Similarly, there is another drug that we talk, that is a fully exact, that is a delayed release tablet. It is an anti-diarrheal enteric coated drug product for oral administration, and it contains 125 milligram of crofelemer, and is a botanical drug substance that is derived from the red latex of Croton lechleri. And this particular compound, crofelemer, is an oligomeric proanthocyanidine. It is an anthocyanidine like a senna. It's like a flavonoid. Proanthocyanidine mixture, primarily composed of catechin. Again, it is a catechin, epicatechin, and gallocatechin and epigallocatechin. Monomer units linked by the random sequence and represented below. So you can understand this is also not a 100% pure compound. This is also a mixture of catechin, epicatechin, gallocatechin, and there is a we can say a oligomeric compound, but that is also get approved, and it has the provision that they have given up to dose is 125 milligram. What is the dosage given? 125 milligram. That is orally 2 times a day. So it is 2 times a day allowed, and not to be crushed and chewed. So it is very clearly mentioned on the label, because it is enteric coated. It is going an oligomer, so it is going to be there breakdown in the large intestine, and that is why it needs to be enteric coated, so it can reach to the site of action. And the dosage is we can say maximum that given is the 2 tablets per day, and it is specifically for the patient with HIV/AIDS with antiretroviral therapy. So it is an antiretroviral therapy. Maybe the side effect of the HIV is the diarrhea, and in that this particular drug is allowed. So it is a purely prescription drug. It is not a OTC drug. So this is the second example of the botanical drug. Till date, the ANDA has been approved. These are some of the chart how I can understand where to register as a drug, or to register as a food, or to register dietary supplement, to register as NDA application. This is a flow chart. So why I have to go through this particular flow chart to understand where to classify my particular botanical substance. Maybe to classify as cosmetic, classify as food, classify as conventional food or dietary supplement, classifying as pure dietary supplement, or classify as OTC monograph, or classifying as an NDA application. So these are the total regulatory framework I have kept here, and from this flowchart, anyone can get the idea that what way the particular product, or when you are doing a research, you should understand in this way, so that you can get a better research outcome at the end. This is process of filing. We'll go a little bit fast. This is the entire index. I am not going with the index of this particular thing. They have given some very clear guidance that how to apply and what is meaning of non-botanical. So synthetic, semi-synthetic, and any other thing is not allowed. Only the natural botanical drugs are only allowed in this particular NDA. That is a guidance. They have defined it. It can be product maybe from animal origin. It does not include that product from animal parts, material derived from botanicals that are genetically modified. It is not allowed. Fermentation, yeast, highly purified substance is also not allowed. Like you can say I have a 99% pure substance, then go with the total pharmaceutical. Don't say as a botanical substance. So you need to register the drug when it is semi-pure, or we can say group of compounds, when it is specifically group of compounds. This is a description how to go ahead. Scientific name is required. Product must be scientifically clear. It should not, its source and material must be clear, and it should be very clear that this particular species is not endangered. That is also required to be very clear in the submission. Which part of the botanical you are using, that is also need to be very clear. Otherwise, many times we happen that we talk like ginger and we say it is a leaf of ginger, or we talk something different. It is not allowed. Whatever part you are using, that part has to be clear in the submissions. This is quantitative approach. You must have a quantitative approach in your extract. For example, nobody can claim that it is the only extract. They have to identify which particular ingredient is dominating in that extract, and that particular ingredient or that particular chemical constituent required to be quantified, and that also to be quantified in a specific particular way, and you have to mention it will be not less than that, so that when quality need to be checked after the post marketing part, they will able to understand, and they will able to do the we can say post marketing. If some product they want to evaluate, the FDA can evaluate on that ground. These are the analytical data, like you have to strength, chemical identification, all the things it's mentioned. Test, what are the residual tests you have to do. all the things. Even you have to mention what are the other excipients you are using along with it, so that you have to be very clear that active. Sometimes we keep a trade secret. We add something in excipient and say that it will be efficacious. It is efficacious. Excipient is efficacious, not the actual mixture. To keep your we can say competitor out of this particular competition. Many times this is a standard practice. That if the particular ingredient is efficacious and it is also allowed in excipient category, you add that excipient. So that is not allowed here. Excipient need to be very clearly defined. There are certain EU provision, like I have kept EU provision here just because they identified that particular botanical in 3 groups, like group 1, 2 and 3. When group 1 is defined, they have current knowledge, like we have a reference. I missed one thing in previous, just a minute. What I want to mention here is, yes, this is forget. Prior human experience, reference of literature. This is very clearly in FDA guideline is given the books of medical practices in Ayurveda. It is mentioned. Traditional Chinese medicine, Unani, it is also mentioned, Siddha and other herbal medicines and pharmacognosy textbooks. They have given this as a reference that they can submit that reference literature to use for prior human experience. They can mention this book reference and can get the approval. So our books are also mentioned. That is Indian context book like Unani, Ayurveda, and Siddha are our literature, our scientific like a traditional medicine literature that is already mentioned as a reference for this guidance, that you can submit your prior human experience with this reference mentioned in these books. This is a group classification, that if there is something which is not there in current knowledge, how to classify. Group 2 is the botanical active substance based on material with an established specification and have a taxonomy and current knowledge, indicate that botanical active substance may contain component and possible concerns for human. Group 3 is botanical active substance that are not based on a material with an established specification, in case complete identification characterizing principle is needed. Group 1, where we have a lot of reference, like we are using tea since our ancient time, so it's coming into the group 1, for example. Group 2 is there where you have a substance mentioned in our literature, well mentioned in our knowledge, but is a medicine. And group 3, there nothing is mentioned, and then we are asking for the approval of botanical as a drug. Then it is classified. Group 3, you need to do a lot of studies. Group 1 and 2, many a time FDA gives you that you can go directly on phase 2 trial. For group 3, you have to go with phase 0, 1, 2, 3, everything as per the drugs. This is the clinical pharmacology part. Fine. Phase 1 study can be omitted. Just take it as a message that this is a consideration they have given. Now we will go for what next is required as a part of like consensus. What next is required as a regulatory perspective? What next is required? That advanced analytical techniques are required to understand entire metabolomics of this particular we can say botanicals or we can say supplements. In silico tools, there are so many in silico tools are required, and that need to be officially incorporated in regulatory submissions. That if you have done some tox study through some software or Schrodinger you use, and they can allow that, yes, we can approve the particular botanical for human use. Qualified presumption of safety QPS approach is required. Toxicological assessment is essential, very essential. And nowadays in Indian context also, in Ayush Ministry, they have classified the extract which is not from alcohol and we can say hydroalcoholic or aqueous extraction process. That extracts need to be go for toxicological studies. So that is another thing which is a big assessment is required, because safety is first in such development. Next is the up-to-date quality standards are required. DNA barcoding. Nowadays, DNA barcoding is coming to identify that the particular source of cultivation. Nowadays, you know that you can do the UPI payment anywhere in the world, like anywhere in India, that you just scan a code and you get the idea. Similarly, the barcoding is there, which will be there on your label or on your, we can say, particular packaging. You scan it and you get where it is cultivated and from which source the particular material has been taken. So that is the authenticity Then blockchain approaches could be utilized to monitor the herbal medicine and dietary supplement ingredient from its source to destination, like from which source it has been taken and which plant it has been processed and from where it has gone to the market and how it reached to you. So we say it is a backward integration of the particular product when it is on your desk. So the safety point of view, these all things are necessity, and blockchain is coming with, along with the barcoding system. New barcoding systems are coming where you can have an entire background effect can be checked, or entire backward integration you can do from even from which tree the particular fruit is being taken. That much information is now coming in the coming into the next many developed countries. So like by scanning you can get the idea this particular apple is coming from which tree of which region. So that's the way blockchain is working. Omic based approach, this is another very important approach which is going, that you don't want to do all the studies, but you have a, like you say, I am studying through, like many times we answer in our question paper like omic base. We don't know the correct answer, but we know that these three are not the correct answer, so the one is the correct answer. For example, this is the approach, is the omic approach, where you know that this is not there, this is not there, this is not there, so probability is this is there. So probability was based on the negative things of the others. On the basis of that, you identify the correct approach. So that's the omic based approach is required in herbal and nutraceutical, because it's a vast things. You cannot do everything, and if you go for everything, then it is not affordable. So due to that, omic based approaches must be allowed, so that the drugs, more convenient and more better supplements and drugs can come into the market from herbal and nutraceutical origin. As a take-home message from my side, this is the last slide. There is extremely high diversity in herbs and nutraceutical regulations between supplements to medicine or drug. The correct approach is to launch the product after sufficient safety study as supplement in the market. Study the product usage in few specific disease population through own research. If product as supplement is offering good result on patient population in a years of its market presence, can apply IND and subsequently file NDA on successful clinical trials. Till date, USFDA has only approved like only 2 botanical product NDA. Hence, the process of drug development for herbal drug need lot of way forward to go. So you can understand there is a lot of things are still in pending side. In India, has given provision of phytopharmaceutical regulation for seeking approval of botanical product as medicine. So in Indian context, somebody says what is approval process of like drug from botanical origin, then it is from the provision of phytopharmaceutical. But I don't think so yet in Indian context. Many companies have filed the submissions, or else I have tried to find from DCGI website, but we are not finding the data like what we find in case of USFDA. So maybe in a recent next we can say forward time, we find lot of product in phytopharmaceutical category approved by DCGI. Thank you one and all. Hope it is like in a time I have completed. Yes, it is clear. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving your valuable time. There is one question from audience. Can I give the question, sir? What is doping certificate? What does it contain?
Doping is again a steroidals, because in steroids there are certain, many times it happens that many sports medicines specifically people are taking and they are allowed, and you have found that some sports person comes under the litigation because of that medicine has actually used that particular ingredient which is not allowed as per the doping test. So you have to give a statement that there is no ingredient which is conflicting with the doping certificate.
Thank you, sir. There is one question from our side. Is there any requirement of submitting stability data for herbal medicines at the time?
Yes, it is all there. As per that requirement, everything. I have not covered that part because I only focus on those areas which is I found that need. But apart from what I have discussed, all the parameters which is to be done for drugs, that all has to be submitted. CMC is as we can say what we are submitting for drug. Only what is changing, that is I have discussed. So it is as per like the guideline, stability guideline given that you have to perform accelerated, if you in real time both entire period stability studies you have to give. But the estimation particular ingredient what you are going for analyzing, that is the particular particular, we can say, ingredient, what you found in your extract that you are showing as a major ingredient. That need to be analyzed after your stability study.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, so as a conclusion, sir has discussed global perspective of dietary supplements and herbal medicine. So there is one more question, sir. Uh, is only USA provide guidance for botanical drugs? Is there any other country who is providing the guidance?
US FDA is the site where everything is, we can say, black and white. I would say, not the other sites. You study any FDA site. I have gone through all the FDA sites in my past. Now I am more on admin side, so able to look after less in recent time. But at least up to 2019, I have studied most of the websites very critically. And my observation is the black and white is only given in US FDA side. That means they give every information. They give clear guidance. There is a guidance from Ayush also. Indian context, Ayush has given 6 books nowadays. I think I have not taken that. But in India, in line with the US FDA, there is a guidance started for clinical trial, for toxicity studies and safety studies, and for formulation and product development. There are 3 guidances being provided by Ayush Ministry, but they are copy paste things, and many things are such which is not possible to do it. So we are working on one group to improvise it, but it's a slow process. It will take some time. But yes, the guidance is given by Indian Ayush Ministry has given, and you can download it directly. And you can also give it as a talk. You can also teach them. That guidance is such that you can directly teach to the student, and you can give as a book that they can refer as a standard book of literature. That is a good books you can refer.
Okay, thank you, sir. Your answer has justified our question.
Sir, I have one question as well.
Yeah, please.
So now you have told us that there is a fine line of difference between the food and the nutraceuticals, right?
Yeah.
So, sir, apart from that, you have also given a list of certifications which are needed for these products.
Yes.
So, sir, do you know any agency who does all the certifications for the product? Who does the certification?
There is a standard labs. You see, all over the world, Eurofins is the most standard lab. Okay. This is the most standard lab, which is only approved in the all over the world. Eurofins. You need to analyze these things from their labs. Else, what can be like that? If you're not you are very sure that this particular ingredient is absent, you can give a declaration. And in declaration, you can write that we are very sure and we take the responsibility. If it is found, the entire rejection will accept it. So there are 2 approaches. Either you measure through the labs and you give the each particular certificate, you give the measured quantity of that ingredient, or else you give a declaration. And in declaration, you say that this particular ingredient is absent. And if it is found, we declare it. If it is found, we write the affidavit. In AICT, we submit the affidavit. We give this salary. If something is found, principal is responsible. Like that. So similarly, when we take this type of declaration, if something found after that particular consignment reaches to them, and that ingredient is found, then that responsibility will be of the manufacturer, and the entire cost has to be paid to manufacturer.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us with your knowledge. We would like to present you a virtual certificate.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Biren Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Entire college, staff and all for such opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, can I leave now?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Yeah.
Now our next speaker, Dr. Puneet Raj sir, has already joined us. So without wasting further time, we will immediately have the next session. All of you are to be able to be filled the attendance and feedback link to get the e-certificate for today's program. Okay, the link is already provided in the WhatsApp group as well as in the chat. Now we have the third plenary session by Dr. Puneet Raj, who is the General Manager, We Worldwide Group. We will, he will today speak us about the guidelines for import and export of herbals and nutraceuticals. Myself will chair the session. Speaking about Puneet Raj, Dr. Puneet Raj is a PhD in clinical pharmacy and having a rich experience of more than 15 years in the industry and academics. Sir has guided 5 MPharm students and presently guiding 16 PhD research scholars. Sir has formulated and researched and launched many products from nutraceuticals and phytopharmaceutical origin for various diseases like obesity, PCOS, dengue, chikungunya, male and female vitality. Sir has also authored 4 more books and more than 30 papers in research papers in the reputed national and international journals. With this, Sir is also an editor of 2 journals. Apart from this, Sir is also an eminent speaker and has given many lectures on the personality development, research skills, and analytical skills. Also, Sir has conducted as well as many refresher courses for pharmacy and the science students in various pharmacy colleges and universities. So it is a great pleasure to have you, Sir. Over to you, Puneet, sir.
Many thanks to ma'am. First of all, I'd like to thank the trustee of the college, the principal, my friend Ketan Shah, my BPharm classmate Dr. Biren.
We are not getting your voice.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Unmute yourself. I think.
Okay. So many thanks to Dr. Biren Shah, who is my BPharm classmate, and Dr. Dikshit Kumar Modi, who is my BPharm classmate.
Hello.
Many thanks to both of you for giving me an opportunity.
Dr. Puneet, we are not getting your voice.
Am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Puneet, you are audible.
Okay. So I think so. Dr. Dikshit is not able to hear. So
Yes.
Okay. So I'll not waste the time and will directly start with the presentation. So is the screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
So today's topic, which has been given to me by Dr. Dikshit and Dr. Biren, is regulatory guidance for import and export of herbals and nutraceuticals. Let me tell you honestly, I have been there working in industry since so many years. The concrete guideline for preparing this lecture, which is very vast, I'll tell you it will take more than a day to make understand all the country guideline. But in a nutshell, I have tried to explain in my presentation about the current guidelines which are there for Nutra as well as herbal, particularly relating to import and export. All my previous colleagues who has given the lecture, I was there attending lectures. It is really informative. Most of my colleagues who has given the lecture has covered all the topics, but then to some essence I will include particularly related to import and export. So first we will start with herbals. So as far as WHO is concerned, they have given a definition for herbal medicine. It includes herbs, herbal materials, and herbal preparations. Worldwide, there is a growing demand of Ayurveda and other traditional medicines. As far as COVID is concerned, we all have witnessed that where there was no solution, herbal was there in the market. Herbal has taken over the available allopathic medicine for not only preventing but definitely at times for curing the COVID also. So in India, around 80% of the rural population use the medicinal herbs or the indigenous system of medicine. It is estimated that nearly 960 plant species are used in Indian herbal industry, and the turnover of the herbal industry was found to be $80 billion. So if you see the current scenario of herbals, it has been booming. Post-COVID, the amount of export has also been increased. Let us look into the export, particularly for Ayush medicines, which include Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy products, which occupy a share of around 3% of the Indian pharmaceutical export. So if you take an export of 100% of pharma products, Ayush contributes very less, 3%. But definitely in the coming days, by the awareness of the herbal products post-COVID, it has been increased. Previously, it was very less. Now the share contribution has been increased to more than 5%. 70% of the export of herbal sector consists largely of raw materials. As you know, India is the traditional, what we tell, Ayurvedic country where there were all the acharyas who has formulated the products. So raw materials, let us take an example of neem. It is the widely exported product from India, as it is a Asian origin, which is not found in most of the countries, exported in a huge quantity. So it is around 10 billion per annum is the export of raw material. When we take around finished product, hardly 30% of the export has been done, and which contributes mainly the finished products as well as herbal extracts. As all of my colleagues who are present over here will definitely agree with me that the herbal extract market has been booming day in and day out. Let me tell you, the authentic herbal extract supplier are very less in market. Authentic in the word which I specify is the standardized extract. Hardly few are there. We can count on our fingertips that only number of people are there who are exporting the standardized extract. So this contributes around 30%. However, the India's global herbal export share is less than 1%. So overall, we export in India 3%, and out of the herbal export, particularly, we contribute only less than 1%. Although the Ayush industry represents one of the oldest and the traditional form of medicine in India, it is not been able to exploit the opportunities of the emerging market because of various reasons which we will take into consideration over here. So worldwide trade of herbal is currently based assessed to be 120 USD billion. India's share to the herbal export in herbs and herbal products is low due to the following reasons. First and foremost thing is inadequate agriculture practices. We in India mainly concentrate on the food supplements or the food, like the farmers grow mainly wheat, rice, etc. So the uh, plant medicinal plant exports we are not more on. Second is inadequate quality control procedure. As I told, standardized extracts are not very easily found in the market which we can tell it is a standard extract. Third, lack of large scale organic cultivation. That is, the cultivation part is, as I told, is a question mark, in particularly the organic. Many organic fields you find organic juice, organic food material, but when we go and cross verify the organic purity, it is always a question mark. Fourth, lack of processing R&D. As all of my colleague will agree with me that research and development particularly in herbal has expanded, but the level of instrument which are used in US for analyzing the impurity or heavy metal at the picogram level are yet to be established in the industry. So that is a question mark. Then, as I told, lack of standardization in products, processes, and services. And last and most important, for which we are going to discuss, is the regulatory framework. So regulatory framework in traditional medicinal plant or trade of medicinal plant is a question mark each and every time. Hence, the percentage which was 1% or less than 1% is an issue. Coming to the export, Indian export of herbal and Ayush products country wise, we mainly export to China and USA, which contributes around 40%, 20 plus 20, around 40% of the total export. So most of the products which are being exported in the form of raw materials or the finished products has been given to China or in particularly USA. Rest other countries are also where we export, like Singapore, Russia, Pakistan, UAE, UK, Japan, Netherlands, etc. Next, if we see the herbal medicine regulatory status region wise, okay, we have taken America as a region. There only 4 non-regulated are there. Rest 14 countries are regulated countries. If we see the Eastern Mediterranean region, 11 countries are under regulatory and 5 are non-regulated market. If you see the European region, 20 are regulated and only one is non-regulated, highest. So if I want to sell the products in Germany, that is a European region, their non-regulated market is hardly one. So each and every product which is supposed to be exported in European region should pass the regulatory requirements. CIS and others, it is 15 are regulated and 2 are non-regulated. Southeast Asia, 7 are regulated and 3 are non-regulated. Western Pacific region, 12 are regulated and 10 are non-regulated. Now coming to the African region, where most of the herbal products are being exported, or else vice versa. Africa is the region where most of the herbs are found. So 12 are regulated, and look at the non-regulated, 24 are non-regulated. So if you conclude on this slide, that is, we can look into the regulated market, which is mostly found in European and American region, and the non-regulated market is found in particularly the African region. Coming to the guidelines, particularly let us see the guidelines which are framed for import or export, particularly in India. That is coming to herbal drugs are regulated under DNC Act 1940 and rules 1945 in India, where regulatory provisions of Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha medicines are clearly laid down. Department of Ayush is a regulatory authority and mandate that any manufacturer or marketing of herbal drugs, which includes particularly export also, to be done and obtain manufacturing license as well as. So here I like to point out that if I wish to export any medicine, I don't need any other license. Only manufacturer should have a contract signed with us that this medicine he is going to provide us for either export or marketing of. So here he, as a person marketer, I don't need any license. The DNC Act extends the control over licensing, formulation, composition, manufacturing, labeling, packing, quality and export. So all, if you want to either import or export, then related to the herbal, we have to look into the Ayush guidelines for drug and cosmetic acts. Now, second, Schedule T. Schedule T Act has been laid down for GMP requirements to be followed by a manufacturer of herbal medicine, which includes Ayush, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani. So, in particularly Ayurveda, Schedule T has been applied. Official pharmacopoeias and formulary are there, like Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, Indian Herbal Pharmacopoeia, Ayurvedic Formulary of India, AFI, are available for quality standards of the medicine. First schedule of DNC Act was listed authorized text which have to be allowed for licensing of any herbal products under the two categories. One is Ayush and second is patent and proprietary medicine. That is a big word. Patent and proprietary medicine, we in pharma feel that patent product, we are here to patented rights for 15 years, 20 years, 5 years, whatever. But in Ayurveda, the patent and patent or proprietary medicine is something different. The things which are not available in the ancient text or formulary, which you are incorporating 5 products and you are preparing new thing, then it is a patent and proprietary medicine. Like in COVID, everyone might have drank the Ayush Kwath. Ayush Kwath is what? It is a patent and proprietary medicine. Means we have incorporated 4 or 5 medicines together and formulated. For example, let us take an example of Kanchnar Google, or even Triphala. Triphala we can't claim as a patent and proprietary. It is a Ayush drug, which has been mentioned in ancient text. Whereas if you include in Triphala, Amla Behda Herde, a Gado component, then you can claim it as a patent and proprietary medicine. But here we don't have any rights for that no one should copy. Anyone can copy by a change of 1 milligram in it and they can give their own name as patent and proprietary medicine. Coming to the herbal product classification in USA, that is exports. So various regulatory bodies have been framed based on the herbal medicine. Let us take few countries example. In USA, there is a regulatory agency known as FDA, where they have classified 2 things. One under supplements and another under medicine. So supplements includes various dietary supplements, which includes herbs, botanicals, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, dietary substance to be used for men, concentrate, metabolite, constituent, extract. All these things are classified as supplements. Whereas herbals which are classified as medicines includes botanical drugs, which are given in CDER, that is Center for Drug Regulation and Research, laid down by FDA. So we are going to now concentrate toward the regulatory classification under medicine or supplement of various countries. So this was about USA. Second is Australia. So in Australia there are two agencies. One is TGA and second is FSANZ. That is, TGA is Therapeutic Good Administration, and which is widely been used for pharma, and Food Standards Australia and New Zealand, where they have classified under TGA. In supplement there is nothing which they have classified, whereas they have classified herbal as medicines only, which includes herb, vitamins, minerals, nutritionally supplement, homeopathy, microorganisms, whole extracted, etc. They are classified under medicine only. Whereas if you see into the FSAN's guideline, they have classified the supplement, which includes the food extract of plants. Suppose if you take neem extract, then it is classified under supplements. Animals or food and their extract resulting in the production and practice and new technologies, so that they have classified as supplement. Looking into the regulatory guideline or product classification for New Zealand, the regulatory agencies are divided into three: MPI, that is Ministry of Primary Industry; MedSafe, that is New Zealand Medicine and Medical Devices Safety Authority; and as discussed previously, the Food Standards Australia and New Zealand, that is FSANS. So here MPI has classified into supplements the herbal products which includes food modified with added substance so that they can perform a physiological role. They don't have any classification for medicines. Under MedSafe, they have classified as dietary supplements and herbal remedies, two different things. I'm trying to concentrate here the things which are being guided by the respective country guideline. In India, it is more or less like Ayush and FOSCOS, that is FSSI. Here it is not the same condition. Third, and the most important, is FNS, which we have already discussed, novel food, which includes food extracts from the plants, animals, etc. Foods and other extracts resulting from the production and processes and practices and new technologies. Let us look into Canada. Again, all we are taking as of now the regulated market. Health Canada is the regulatory agency and they have classified herbal under medicine only, which includes traditional medicine, herbal medicine and homeopathy. Looking into China, that is CFDA, China Food and Drug Administration, is the regulatory agency. They have classified health food under supplements and traditional Chinese under particularly the medicine class. In Japan, they have Ministry of Health and Labor Welfare, that is called as MHLW for medicines. They have classified herbal under foods, that is health food, and traditional medicine, that is Kampo medicine, under the medicine. Let us take into the consideration the EU market, that is European Medical Agency is the regulatory agency for European market, where they have classified only herbal products under medicine, that is herbal medicine products, national component authorities and EU member states. Let us take into consideration the EU member states. They have IPSA for that, that is National Component Authorities of European Food Safety Authority, centralized procedure apply. They have classified under supplements. There is no medicine in EU member state. So EU has classified under medicine, whereas EU member state, they have not classified it under medicine. Substance with nutritional or physical effect, which includes vitamins, minerals and botanicals. Here herbals are also included in under supplements. Now second part which we will discuss is nutraceuticals, where n number of new guidelines, new rows, new implementations are there. Looking into the herbals, we conclude that in India it is the DNC Act, whereas across the world where there are different agencies which have bifurcated herbals under two: supplements and medicines. Here in nutraceuticals, we will take individual country wise as well as in domestic. So first we will discuss what is nutraceuticals. So nutraceuticals is a food or food component that claims to have health benefits. Health benefits, like as in yesterday's lecture, in the starting lecture only ma'am told that more than 400 plants are termed now as nutraceuticals under FSSAI, Food Safety Standard Authority of India. To be precisely 418 plus or 437 exactly, the plants are mentioned under FSSI. Now let us take an example. If you take Triphala, Amla Beheda Harde, you can't name Triphala in FSSI. But yes, individually you can give a brand name Amla Beheda Harde, which will not fall under the Ayush patent and proprietary medicine. It will be a brand name, like for example, you can give T Fala, then it is Triphala Amla Beheda Harde. So FSSI has given a liberty to include the herbal plants which are documented in Ayush books with a separate ASU marking in it. So it is a deep upcoming market where you can use the nutraceuticals as a word and market the herbal products. So nutraceuticals was coined as food or food component that have been claimed to have health benefits including treatment and prevention. In India, FSSI, that is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, is the only single authority to regulate the production, distribution, import, and marketing of herbal products or nutraceuticals in India. So, what is the market size? Indian market size of nutraceutical is around 2 billion US dollars. So, the you can make out vitamins, minerals, health supplements. We were targeting, but as Foscos has came into the market, the neutral regulation laid in 2016. Since then, they have gone on increasing the number of herbal medicines which can be marketed under the name of FSSAI, that is nutraceutical. Vitamin and mineral component are responsible for around 64% of the total nutraceutical market in India. As Mr. Ravi Manek or Sanjay sir has already discussed yesterday, even Sanjeev sir as well, that they have been widely distributed into two types: functional food and beverages and dietary supplement. Functional foods includes fortified drinks, fortified juices, foods, energy drink, etc. And dietary supplement, all in length discussion has been done. I'll just go through it. Vitamins, minerals, herbal supplement, as I told, protein supplement including Chyawanprash. Now you see, we have a mentality in our mind, Chyawanprash is Ayurvedic only. But no, now Chyawanprash can be a dietary supplement which can be marketed under the head of under the marketing of nutraceutical under ASU drugs. We will just take into the history of regulatory of food products, which started in 1990s, where 8 separate laws were included. Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, mainly focusing on curbing the adulteration of the food products. In 2006 to 2008, introduction of FSS started and establishment of FSSI was completed. Between 2011 to 2015, major activity started for interpretation of 6 key regulations from 05th August 2011. FSSI logo with license number was mandatory on all food products. Now also FSSI number is mandatory. Initially it was there that there was a logo which was there. Now the logo along with the number is mandatory on any of the food products, maybe a nutraceutical or maybe any food supplement. You can look into the health drink which we drink, maybe thumbs up, Pepsi or something like that. There also the symbol has been there and they have made it mandatory. 2016 introduction of regulations of food and nutraceutical, as I told, was started, and initially 100 plus nutra products were there. Herbal supplements were there. Now 400 plus herbal supplements are available. 2017-18 there was an introduction of import regulations which you are going to look into, and organic food regulations, implementation of food, functional food and nutraceutical regulations. And latest in 2002 they have reframed the 2016 regulations of nutra and claimed it as FSS nutra regulation, which were laid down in 2022 recently in month of March. Now we will discuss about the import of nutraceuticals, that is food safety standards, that is FSS import regulations 2017. In that, this is the flow chart where if I wish to import or if anyone wish to import a nutraceutical, these are the mandatory criteria to be followed. So being an importer, first they have to apply for an import license with Form A and B, that is a importing license will be given by FSSI, and subsequently they will have to apply for IEC and in under DGFT. IEC is what? Import Export Code, IEC, and DGFT, that is Director General for Foreign Trade. Import Export Code is mandatory for all the importers or exporters, which you can get it from DGFT only, producing very few documents. Then we receive an IEC number. Subsequently, we generate an importer license. We can be an importer. Now, if we are importer, we have to follow the following flow chart. That is, on the left hand side, there is a requisite documents are sent to the foreign exporter. Here, parallelly, we have to present the documentation. Subsequently, can be given to the customs that these are the exporter documents which which I'm going to get imported in India, and then there will be a check consignment of the documents, FSC standards and labeling, everything will be checked by the customs and FSS. Subsequently, if they are okay, then FSSI will authorize a person or the health officer to check the samples. Subsequently, if they are not okay, then you will have to re-export along with the appeal of reconsideration. It may be labeling or it may be documents any. Suppose if the authorized person checks the samples and found it okay, then they will tell it to the custom, and subsequently you can import it into the India and domestic market can be done. If it is not okay, then again we have to go for appeal, or again sample analysis will be done, and then we can import the drugs which can be marketed in India. Let us take an example. Undenatured collagen 2, UC2, is widely been imported. Quality is going to be the best. So if I want to import undenatured collagen 2, that is UC2, which is widely used in nutraceutical market for relief of knee pain, it is a tissue toner or a cartilage toner, then I have to follow all this procedure. Next, nutraceutical import sampling flow chart. Generally, this is the way in which it follows. That is, document submission and appointment of the samples, then inspection and sampling. Third thing will be samples handed over or import approved labs. Fourth, test report you will receive, and then you can get a NOC. Now, these are the two pre-arrival and post-arrival things which are to be taken into consideration while we import the products. Pre-arrival requirements, as I told, IEC, which we get it from DGFT, which is an import-export code. Then we have to get Form B. Form A and Form B are the two forms which were discussed yesterday, where if you want to import, or if you want to export, or if you want to domestic market the products, it has been divided into two categories, Form A and Form B. So Form A is for products less than 12, for a turnover of less than 12 lakhs. Form B is mainly for more than 12 lakhs. Then we have to get a pre-arrival notification, that is PAN, that is submission of here. Requirement will be under documents, labeling, packing and storage. Post arrival, once the products are available in India, we have to submit the document for NOC. Subsequently, there will be a sampling. If a NOC is issued, then you can get a custom clearance and you can import the products and you can market. So this is the post arrival flow chart. Coming to the nutraceutical export market. Nutraceutical export market is been divided into 6 probable regions, where Asia Pacific is APAC, Middle East, North Africa is MENA, LATAM, that is Latin America, African markets, they all show tremendous growth in the dietary supplement demand compared to already mature US and EU market. So individually we'll look into the export market. Previously we have shown about the import of nutraceuticals. Now we will discuss about the export of nutraceutical. So APAC, that is Asia Pacific, nutraceutical functional food market is around 5 to 10% growth has been witnessed in the coming years as per CAGR. MENA market, has a dietary supplement projected to be 8.2% between 2022 to 2025. That is cumulative growth rate. And African nutraceutical market can have a CAGR of around compound annual growth rate of around 6.05% by 2025. And LATAM region will be around 7.3% by 2026. So if you see overall, if we take an average of 7 to 10% is the market growth which we can expect annually. Now individually we will see the regulatory authority region wise who is going to be responsible for exporting. Rather from India it has been export and they will be importing. So various health authorities are there. They have classified nutritional product into various segments. Like we have seen for the herbal segment, they have classified under supplements and medicines. Same way over here, Asian countries, if we see all the countries like Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, they are all regulated market where they have classified it under health supplement or the food supplement. Here, please note, there is no dietary supplement or medicine supplement. They have categorized the nutraceutical under two categories only, health supplement and food supplement, at times dietary supplement as well. The regulatory authority are MOH, that is Ministry of Health of respective countries, or as for Indonesia it is BPOM, that is National Agency of Drug Food Control of Indonesia. NPRA is for Malaysia. PFDA, that is for Philippines. HSA is for Singapore. TFDA is for Thailand. DAV or MOH is for Vietnam. So all these Asian countries have been classified the nutraceuticals under health supplement, dietary supplement, or even food supplement. Let us take into consideration the Middle East. Middle East, they have, most of them have again categorized into health supplement or food supplement, where Bahrain has their health authority which is called as NHARA. Egypt has EDA MOH. Same way Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, they have MOH. Qatar has NHA. Saudi has their own regulatory, that is Saudi Drug Food and Drug Authority. Turkey has MOH. Same way UAE is also having MOH. Like looking into Africa, as we have discussed in the initial slide, that in Africa only 12 countries are there which is having some regulation, whereas 24 countries are there without any regulations. So here we have tried to classify the inspection country only. Like Nigeria, if you want to export, or South Africa or Kenya or SADC, we have MOH or NAFDAC or SAHPRA, which has been responsible for the approval of various nutraceuticals to be imported. If we take LATAM, Peru, Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, all have their individual regulatory bodies like ANVISA, DigiMed, MOH, COFEPRIS, and ANMAT. These are all the regulatory authorities for LATAM. Now, the key markets for dietary supplements, which includes Brazil. If we see the country-wise, region-wise, these are the main key markets where the export of nutraceutical has been phenomenal in India, from India or else from any other country. So if you take into consideration all the market, here we have tried to expose the market. India is also one among them, where we either import or either we export the dietary supplements. Now, just an additional part, how to register a product. That is, product registration has been divided into very simplified way. I have tried to incorporate over here. First, we have to select the country. Let us take an example. If we want to select a country like Nigeria, okay, then we have to appoint a local technical representative over here or a local agent who can be your distributor or who can represent your company in that country. It may be a regulatory agent, it may be a local technical representative, it may be a distributor, or it may be your own company office which you can place over there. Second part will be the documents of the dossier submission. We have to prepare all the documents. Even these are the guidelines for Nutra and Herbal also. There is nothing escape or no escape has been there. Even it may be a Nutra or Herbal. If you are selecting a country which is a regulated country, you have to go with all these documentations. respective country has their own respective documents, but I'll brief you few documents which are mandatory, like COA, MSDS, BMR, individual excipient COAs, individual method of analysis, finished good method of analysis, finished good COA. These are all the mandatory documents for any country which is regulated to be exported. Then with the documentation, you will have to prepare the samples. If the sample pass, then and then the registration happens, and then your export can go for. So these are the, in a nutshell, the requirement of the what we call registration requirements. Individually, if we see the basic general documents, I have tried to incorporate generally. I am again specifying it very generally because each country has their own checklist for registration product. In certain countries, dossier is must, but general requirements is first and foremost is the cover letter from the local agent. Second is the application form. We should have a valid GMP certificate. If you are exporting Ayush product, you should have Schedule T manufacturing license. If you want to export it to XYZ country and under nutraceutical, then you should have a FSSI license, Form A and B, which we have already discussed. It may be a centralized license or it may be a state license. If you want to export Nutra, centralized license is mandatory. FSC, that is free sale certificate, product license from the country of origin, which is to be legalized. Composition of product, mandatory. We can't hide anything. Like, I'll tell you a short story. Previously, maybe 10 years back, there was a herbal product which was containing ammonium chloride. Nausar is the name, Ayurvedic name. So ammonium chloride is widely used for treating cough and cold. So it was included in the syrup. Now it has been banned. Under special approval only you can give. So people used to add ammonium chloride and they were not showing on the label. It was happening in Ayurvedic products. But if you go for export, every damn thing you have to show. There is nothing which you can hide. If you hide something and if you are caught, your product registration will be terminated from immediate effect without any explanation. I'll give you another example. Way back, I was having a client in Ghana where he used to import herbal medicine for erectile dysfunctioning, and from China they used to add sildenafil citrate and give for it for erectile dysfunctioning. He was caught in Ghana. You can Google it. Tete Herbal is the name, and he has to withdraw the product from the market. So this practices, malpractices in export is not possible of nutraceuticals or Ayurvedic Ayush products. Then mock-ups, that is the outer label, inner label, pack leaflet, samples for laboratory if applicable, and the fees, of course. Every country has their own fees of importing the products. It may range from 100 USD to 10,000 USD, depending on the country. So that are all the basic document requirements. Now, just I'll give you a brief idea about if you are planning for export, what is the registration timeline. So for most of the regulated countries, we have tried to incorporate over here. Like Brazil, it is 5 years. Peru, it is 5 years. Colombia, it is 10 years. Mexico, there are no timeline. Depends on the notice of operation. Argentina, it is 5 years. Philippines, it is 3 to 5 years. Singapore, not specified compliance based market is there. Thailand, it is 5 years. Rest all the countries like China, Vietnam, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, South Africa, Nigeria, Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, they all have a timeline of 5 years. If you go and register your product for 5 years, you can easily sell the product in that country. There will be no restriction of import of these drugs. Conditions applied that no complaint should be there. Once the 5 years are completed, then we have to apply for renewal. So to conclude the topic, which was incorporated in a very concise and precise manner, because let me tell you, as I told, the regulatory, if you take individually the guidelines, individually the document requirements for export, either for herbals or nutraceuticals, is a huge topic. And those who are my good friends who wish to explore the regulatory market in the coming days, maybe a BPharm, MPharm, or existing people who are there in the market, please try and explore the market for nutraceuticals. I'll tell you the reason. FSSI is giving a free hand for 400 plus products, which is an easy thing for us to market the products from India. If we export, we will get some export benefits as well. So to conclude, India is proclaimed to be a relatively nascent market presently for functional foods and nutraceuticals. popular among Indian population. Traditional practice such as Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathic document a strong history of medical uses of various foods and herbs. I definitely will try to quote an example. Each and every home has home remedy. If a child who is suffering from cough and cold belonging to maybe Gujarat, then definitely we will use the pan which has been available at the pan shop. We will try to patch it on the cough on the chest of the child, and the cough will be relieved. All the traditional practices you will find in India. Due to increasing awareness and availability of nutraceutical products, consumer demand for products with specific health benefits has been on rise, particularly. So, as you know, n number of people now through Facebook, Insta, and all the social media slides, Twitter, and everything, YouTube channels are created. They try and claim their benefits. But as yesterday, Dr. Vimal Kumar has told that every drug has side effect, and any drug cannot be without side effect. People feel that Ayurveda don't have side effect, Ayurveda don't have any drug interaction, but sorry to say it is not the case. There are health benefits, but we have to consideration the situation also. But definitely I agree, because of this social media and number of products are there which are available. Just hair oils are marketed like anything, claiming it to be Ayurveda. But let me tell you, if you want to prepare a hair oil, you have to go for a Shirpak Vidhi, which has been shown and claimed and awarded by Ban Labs in India, which has been based in Gujarat, a company which has been marketing Shesa oil. Again, coming to the authenticity of Sherpak Vidhi is always a question mark, because it is on a huge process. I am not telling Ban is having some problem, but when we go and look into the Sherpak Vidhi, it is a question mark every time. So to modify, to regulate all these things, to patch up with the loopholes, a good regulatory framework is in put place, which will enable the market to grow. Like now, FSS rules for Nutra 2022 has mandatory centralized license. So centralized person is mandatory responsible for marketing of, or sorry, for inspection and giving a license to the Nutra approved product, which was not there last year. It was not there. Now, if I want, or if the existing people who are having under 13 categories, some categories are there of nutraceuticals, then definitely they will have to go with central approval only. But yes, I agree, standardized product demand is going to be increased in the coming days. And although there are many challenges in implementing regulations, but it is bound to create a significant growth and success if the companies in India supplement the functional food space over coming years. So here I like to conclude that regulatory framework for import and export are going to be strengthened in the coming days. So those who wish to go into the regulatory market, they will have to prepare all the documents like pharma people only. Okay, so these are the references, and thank you very much for patient hearing.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we have a few questions from the delegates as well. So I will be taking up questions one by one.
Yeah, sure.
The first question is, what do you mean by sanitary registration?
Sanitized registration is the requirement where the people are there, like they have their own registration guidelines. So individual country, they have claimed it as a sanitization registration. It is nothing related to the sanitization. It is like a normal certificate, like a registration certificate is issued. Same way, respective country will have that type of registration requirements.
Okay, sir. Actually, I have also one question, a doubt, which lot of time before I had this question. So, what do you mean by FSC pre-sale certificate?
Yes, I will tell you. Good question, ma'am. Because many of the people who wish to export, they don't know what is FSC. Free sale certificate is, suppose I am a manufacturer, I go and take it approved from the drug department for marketing. It is, I'll tell you, three types of FSCs are there. One for pharma, second for Ayush products, and third for the Nutra products. Nutra products availability awareness has not been there. but it has been given by the local body, either FDA or either the Import Export Council is there. Mostly it has been given by FDA. They are going to give a free sale certificate, which is authorizing a person to sell it free across the world. Mean, if I take an FSC in from the local FDA, that is Food and Drug Administration in Gandhinagar, or else in respective state, I can market it in entire globe anytime. Second thing, if I want to market in US, there is a special FSC which can be given to US. Country specific FSC is also there. But if you take a general FSC, you can market, because I'll put on over here an example, like endangered species are there in India, then we can't free sale it. We can't even domestic market it. So for that, government has given a FSC. One more thing I like to add over here, that is COO, that is certificate of origin, mandatory for export. If I want to export, I should have a COO. Like if at all I am exporting to Nigeria, I should have a COO that it is an Indian origin product. Then and then I'll be able to import. Then there is COPP, that is certificate of pharmaceutical product. All these are the mandatory requirements or a regulatory requirement documentation part to be export any of the products from India.
Okay, sir. We were not aware that this FSC has been granted for the nutraceutical products also, because
Yes.
earlier it was only for the drugs, I suppose.
I'll tell you, I'll like to add two things. One, nutraceutical market and Ayush product, people are not knowing what is the base of it. Let me tell you, if you Google it, I'll tell you, to prepare this lecture, I have to refer n number of things, then and then I was able to prepare the lecture. It is not a ready-made cake. You can Google it. You Google any of the topics which Dr. Dikshit and Dr. Biren has engulfed into it. I'll tell you, it is really informative. People have to go and Google n number of things based on personal experience. Then and then it will be. Look, this is not a Tom, Dick, and Harry type of lectures which all my colleagues have given. It is lectures, or the topics which were selected are totally out of the box. You Google it, you will not find it. You Google anything, you will not find it. But it is based on the experiences which all my colleagues who have given the lecture, or respective teachers who has given the lecture, n number of things are there. In a short time of 1 hour, I am sorry, I'll not be able to engulf and incorporate all the things, but it is a huge topic to be discussed.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Actually, the extensive topic which we have discussed today about the regulatory guidelines was explained to you by the most simple and the lucid way. Normally, the understanding of these legal procedures for import and export, or especially the nutraceuticals, have never been so easy for all of us, I suppose. So, with this, I am sure that all of us are highly benefited from this, just attending your webinar only, sir. I think we have one more question, sir. We have one more question.
From my side, I am going to ask one question. For every nutraceutical product, we have to take a license, or once we have taken the license, under we can formulate a number of nutraceuticals.
Very good. Good question. I'll incorporate two different things in this question. First and foremost thing which you have asked is one license under different categories. Suppose there are 13, 1 to 13 and 99. 14 categories are there. As a group in Nutra to take a license. Individually, suppose if I want to market milk, separate license. Non-veg, fisheries, separate license. Meat, separate license. What we tell dairy products, separate license, like cake shop, etc. So all different licenses are there. If you are going and opting for 13 number category, which is under nutraceuticals, there around 6 categories are there, 13.1 to 13.6, various different types of fortified foods, normal foods, that type of categories are there. Now, if I am opting for 13.6, which is purely and purely nutraceuticals, 13.6, then I can market or prepare n number of medicines without taking any approval of the brand names. I can go for multivitamin, I can go for multiminerals, I can go for multivitamin, multiminerals, I can take herbal products which are available, 400 plus herbal products which are available, n number of products I can take under 13.6. But looking into herbal aspects, individual product, you will have to apply for individual approvals under Ayush, and then individual product you can get an approval if it is under patent and proprietary medicine. Here GST benefits are given under Ayush category, that if it is a traditional medicine that is under ASU category, you will have 5% GST. If it is under patent and proprietary, it is 12% GST. And if it is a Nutra, then it is 18% GST. So different things are there, different contribution based. Looking into the answer which Dr. Dixit has asked is, there is no separate brand name approval required, but yes, you should be opting for that particular category. If I am having 13.6 approval and if I want to sell milk products, I can't sell. I will have to take a separate approval for milk and milk products. Then and then I can sell or import or export that particular medicines. And Fosco's site, everyone can go. If you want to see that which category approval this company is having, it is a Fosco site open for all, where you write down the FSSI license number and subsequently you can check the categories where this product can be marketed.
Well,
Okay.
thank you, sir. The lecture is getting more and more interesting by the time, I suppose.
Any further question you can ask me?
Yeah, we are waiting for questions. If anyone wants to ask any question, can please ask the questions. Okay, sir, I think we will conclude this session. And for delegates, I request that please stay tuned in, because we will start the valedictory function without doing further ado. We are beginning with the valedictory function, and I request Puneet Raj sir again to be a chief guest of the present valedictory function. I request you, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we will begin with the valedictory function. So finally, we are towards the end of the GST and the DST sponsored 2 days webinar on the regulatory guidelines for herbals and nutraceuticals, current and future. For the valedictory function, we have with us Dr. Ketan Shah, Principal and Convener for today's event, Dr. Dikshit Modi, Program Coordinator, and Dr. Viren Shah, Co-Coordinator of today's event. Also, we have the presence of Dr. Puneet Raj, Chief Guest for today's occasion. So these 2 days have been extremely valuable in terms of leveraging our knowledge with the current regulatory aspects of nutraceuticals, especially during the COVID times, where the world has witnessed the importance of the herbal medicines, the nutraceuticals like the green teas, some kadas. Apart from that, the ever-changing regulatory requirements have also helped us and will definitely help us in propelling our herbal medicines to developed countries as well. We hope so that most of the delegates who have participated in these 2 days will definitely benefit from the extensive knowledge which has been shared in these 2 days. So for this event, I will request if any delegates want to share their experience, are most welcome to do so. So if any delegate wants to tell us, please share with us your experience. We can unmute you.
Good afternoon, madam.
Yes,
Welcome, Chirag.
Dr. Chirag.
Yes,
Please
good
speak.
afternoon, madam. First of all, I would like to thank SNLP CP College coordinator Dixit sir and my mentor Guru Dr. Biren sir for organizing such a wonderful seminar for the 2 days. As Puneet sir said, it was really very informative for all of us to learn these regulatory guidelines. The like arrangement for these 2 days sessions, the sessions topic, the resource person selection, as well as the streaming facilities for the seminar was really wonderful. So I can give 100 out of 100 for such kind of seminar, and it was worth learning. As well as I would also congratulate Dixit sir and Biren sir. It was really wonderful, and I have very like no words to express that, because I am also working in these guidelines. So regulatory guideline related informations were extremely well discussed by all the resource person. So congratulations to the team of SNLP CP. It was very wonderful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chirag. Chirag usually happens to always attend all our lectures and is an active participant. So any other delegate who wants to share their experience are welcome to do so. Okay, so I think we will Yadav sir is there. Okay, sir, you can speak.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon,
Dixit
sir.
sir,
afternoon.
good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Congratulations to all of you for arranging such a nice topic for the webinar. And again, this is the time that we are on the opposite side right now. Before 1 year, we will be the same team. But all the, I mean, our speakers are they have delivered a very informative talk, and we have learned a lot of nutraceuticals, and definitely under the guidance of Birensa, I have learned a lot of thing in the field of pharmacognosy, correct, sir?
Yes, indeed.
And again, congratulations to all the team of SNLP.
I think we have lost out, sir. There should be some network connectivity issue.
Okay, okay, congratulations to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we will move on to the. Yes, attendance and the feedback link have been provided in the WhatsApp group as well as in the chat. So all of you have to fill both of them to get the e-certificates. Now I will request Dikshit sir to present the vote of thanks.
Dixit sir, unmute yourself.
Yes, yes, sir. 1 minute. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Myself, Dr. Dixit Modi, Associate Professor from Sri Anandibhai Lalbhai Patel College of Pharmacy. It is my privilege to say lot of thanks to who have directly and indirectly contributed to this 2 days webinar on regulatory guidelines for herbals and nutraceuticals current and future. First of all, I would like to thank Gujcost DSP and Gujarat government to give me a permission to arrange this 2 days webinar. I would like to thank all eminent speakers who have given their precious time to share the knowledge from their busy schedule to make this webinar interesting and more successful, because all speakers have accepted my invitation by a single call or single WhatsApp message. So I am highly thankful to all the speakers, because without speakers, our webinar is not possible. So again, I am heartily thankful to all speakers. I would like to extend my thanks to our management of Vidyabhati Trust, trustees, for continuous encouragement to arrange such type of webinar and such type of events. I extend my deep gratitude to our principal, Dr. Ketan Shah, for his support and presence in this 2 days Gujcost sponsored webinar. I also extend my special thanks to today's event co-coordinator and my colleague, Dr. Viren Shah, for their continuous support to this make webinar successful. I am very highly grateful to all faculty members of Sri Anandibhai Lalbhai Patel College of Pharmacy and non-teaching staff as well as the technical staff for their continuous support and making this event fruitful. Finally, I am very much thankful to all participants for their active participation to make this webinar successful. And in last, once again, thank you for support and presence. And I hope all participants have gained knowledge regarding the regulatory guidelines, because all experts have shared their valuable knowledge regarding the regulatory guidelines. Already police are told that that is not possible to conclude within a 1 hour, because all over the world there is a different regulatory guidelines for urban and nutraceuticals. But sir has nicely explained and we have enjoyed the last session. So again, I am very thankful to Dr. Gujcost to be present over here as a chief guest in the regulatory function. So here I am wind up my speech.
Thank you, sir. One last instruction, all of you. The e-certificates will be displayed on the college website www.snlpcp.ac.in after 3 to 4 days. So after 3 to 4 days, you can just check our college website and then download your certificate. Thank you all of you for joining and have a nice day. We will conclude over here. Thanks a lot.
Dixit sir, please share the feedback link in
Yes,
the
yes,
chat.
yes. I am sharing the feedback link in a WhatsApp chat as well as I am sharing over here shortly. One minute.
As a token of our love and appreciation, we present this certificate to Dr. Puneet Raj.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I thank all the trustees of Vidya Bharati College, Dr. Ketan Shah, my good friend, Dr. Biren Shah, my best mate during my BPharm days, my MPharm classmate, Dr. Dikshit, and thank you to you also, ma'am. It was a great pleasure. I again thank and motivation which Dr. Dikshit has and Dr. Biren has engulfed under the guidance of Dr. Ketan Shah that more than 500 registration has been done. It is a huge achievement. You see,
Thank you for the kind words, sir.
in this scenario, people don't have time. No doubt the people who are attending or those who are getting benefited is secondary thing, but at least they opted for registration. 558 registration list I was seeing, 18 pages, huge list has been there. So I congratulate all the faculty members, the team of the college, as well as particularly to Dr. Biren and Dr. Dikshit for organizing such a wonderful event. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Thank
much.
you, thank you.
Thank you for your kind words.
So we hope your collaboration for future events also.
Definitely, anytime 24 by 7. All the three names which I told, they know me personally 24 by 7. Anytime I can help it out because they know me very well and I am personally motivated in engulfing giving the knowledge which I have engulfed myself. So, if at all someone asks me the question, they all three know me very well and I am ready to help anyone, any point of time 24 by 7.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all delegates. I hope that you have filled the attendance link as well as the feedback link. And let's see you when we upload the certificates. Thank you and you can leave the session now.
Thank you.